Let's go, everybody. Let's go. That's right. Happy Saturday to everybody out there. Hope you guys are doing well. Wishing you the best. Once again, we are blessed and highly favored to wake up and be a part of the earth for whatever it is. Please don't forget to get yourself checked because you never know. Life be lifing. And don't forget to check on your family members, loved ones, and friends. Man, what a time. What a time. Listen, I know that when you look back at everything, people look at this series between the Knicks and Atlanta and they're like, you know what? It's going to be some work for the Knicks. You know, it won't be just easy, but no one was really worried about Atlanta. And you know what? The fact that the Knicks took care of business and won 3 games in a row to end the series 4-2. People are like, cool. You should feel happy about it. But really, this is what they were supposed to do. Well, let me tell you something. If you know anything about the Knicks never do anything easy. So the fact that they did have to deal with some adversity, the fact that they were able to win 3 games in a row in incredible fashion, might I say. The first 2 games were very nice victories for the Knicks. I'm saying not the first game. The first game, they won by 1 point or whatever, but a few points, should I say. But the games that the Knicks actually took care of business, they changed things around. They went out there with a plan, they executed it well, and they locked in on defense, made things really difficult for Atlanta. Atlanta was getting really comfortable in those victories. And so the Knicks made some changes and really locked in on them defensively, which was the first part of everything and really the catalyst. Obviously, the other thing that we noticed in the series is that the Knicks kind of struggled offensively just to find their footing and figure out what they needed to do to get better. And I think they made some changes, but we're going to talk about it. But the bottom line is the Knicks did what they had to do, and they did it well. And now we're moving on to the next series. It's a nice situation to watch the Knicks actually get to sit back and rest a little bit while the others struggle for an extra game or two, whatever it may be. So that usually doesn't happen. So it's nice to see that. And because the Knicks have moved on to the next series, we're just waiting on the winner of the Boston and Philadelphia Game 7. It's time to dance. Hey, 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 hey. Hey, hey. Yes. Shout out to the New York Knickerbockers. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, I'm extra foofy with the pinky up today. What are we drinking today? We're drinking a ice cloud latte with chocolate cookie swirls, marshmallow cold foam, and Oreo crumble bits. Pinky up for flavor. Well, well, well. We are here. Well, well, well. All right, let me read the quote of the day before I get into everything because I'm hype. I'm excited. I'm happy that they took care of business, did what they had to do. And of course, you know we got to talk about game 6. But before we do, all right, today's word of the day. Okay. There is no situation that could ever confront you that cannot be solved. Life takes on a real meaning when you set values for yourself. Regard yourself as worthwhile and elevate your thoughts to things that are God and good. There is a higher power. Turn to it, use it. It is yours for the asking. So, no matter what you believe, no matter who your God is or whatever your belief system is, the point is you can look for answers and guidance in others, whether that be in a spiritual form or even in a close person to you that you can speak to that kind of can lead you with some good advice that helps you kind of find where you need to go in life. If you have some interesting questions, now's the time to ask them. Find out what you're really doing with yourself and where you want to go. This is dope. All right. The word of the day. Ah, man. What a time, y'all. Okay. Now let's get to the real. Game 6 was crazy, y'all. Crazy. As I'm watching it, I'm like, okay. All right. Knicks came out. They scored a couple points. And then I saw Atlanta kind of get into their bag and say, okay, we're not going away. They got to the point where I think they scored 9 points. It was like 9-5 or something. And I'm like, okay, Atlanta's going to go on their early run, which I expected because they're trying to stay. They're trying to, win this and extend the series. Ooh-wee. But after that, it was over. I don't think. I mean, listen. I'm not saying that this is a moral victory, guys, but I'm just saying this is going to be one of those great, proud moments in Knick history. This is historical, no matter what. No matter what happens for the rest of NBA basketball, this is a historical performance by these New York Knicks. So that's take it for what it is. Man, the Knicks just kept, I like to say it was the perfect storm, right? Because what you have is you have a game 6, which is a desperation game for the Atlanta Hawks. They want to continue to play basketball. They don't want to go home, right? So they're coming out knowing that it's win or go home. You got the New York Knicks who have been playing really good basketball in the last 2 games. They found a way to kind of get their offense going and get Cat more involved in the schematics of everything. And they locked in on defense. So you got the pressure Atlanta's feeling, not wanting to go home. The Knicks playing really good basketball and their offense starting to kind of show up. And then the X factor is you get the Knicks who came out and said, you know what, game 6, we are trying to end this. Like a lot of times we talk about this, right? We go into games in the playoffs. We're like, man, the Knicks got to take care of business. They got to get these guys up out of here. But you never feel necessary that how the Knicks are going to come out because the Knicks are kind of, they're an emotional all over the place type team. You never quite know what you're going to get until you start watching the game. These Knicks said, you know what? Ever since game 4, when they figured out something, how to play Atlanta, I don't know if it's the team itself because they've been battle tested and they want to win. This is what they've been waiting for, or it's also the coaching staff telling them, look, we can't be the same team we was before. Now, we got to take care of business, put our foot on their necks. I don't know what it is, but ever since game 4, I feel like this Knick team has decided that they want to take care of business and just leave no doubt, right? Let's get these guys up out of here. Do what we got to do to win the game. And I feel like they did it in game 4. I feel like they did it in game 5. And then the closeout game in game 6. Woo! If you ever questioned the New York Knicks' intensity and willingness to get something done, game 6 showed you everything you needed to know if the Knicks are ready to do something and take things to the next level. They showed you their intensity and what they're ready and willing to do. Game 6 was, and look, guys, we've talked about this all year. We talked about it since last year, watching this Knicks team be put together. And I'm not going back and forth on how we felt about this team throughout this process. You know, the Knicks have had a lot of issues. We've all criticized everything they've done wrong and everything they needed to do to get better. We've talked about all of these different things. One of the things that I talked about early in the year was, man, oh, wow, this has probably been one of the Knicks' best offensive games. We've said that stuff, right? Then we've had the moment where we've said, hey, man, this has probably been the Knicks' best defensive game. Hey, okay, good. And then another thing that we've talked about, and I've talked about this multiple times since last year, it's been very rare that we've seen a game where all of the starters had a really good game, especially the key 4, right? Like, it seems like we can get 1 to get going or 2 to get going, but we never get all 4 to get going at the same time. Game 6 versus the Atlanta Hawks was the best possible game I think you can see from the New York Knicks. You know how you always say, well, we've never seen the best of the Knicks? That game was the best of the Knicks. So I like to keep that in perspective, guys. There's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with showing you our best and saying this is as good as we can be. That's fine. That was great. They put up 140 points. That game is the best you're going to see the New York Knicks. So write it down, lock it in. When you ever want to say, what's the best defense I've seen? What's the best offense I've seen? What's the best collective from all the guys together? And that Atlanta game 6 is the best you are ever going to see the New York Knicks collectively all together doing everything. And that's all that was that's all that matters. That's all that was needed. So the fact is, 2 years talking about this team being put together, and we finally seen it all come together in one game in the playoffs. I'm not even talking about the fact that they destroyed the Atlanta Hawks by 51 points. It's not necessarily that so much. It's the fact that everything came together. The defense, the offense, the scoring punch from everybody. Mikal got involved finally. OG took over. Brunson just did what he needed to do and laid in the cut. And Cat, yeah, you know what? Cat kind of took a back seat too. All he did was drop a triple-double. So I'm saying that's the blueprint. That game is the game that I don't care who they play in what series, if they advance. If you want to point to, we got to get back to playing a certain way, that's the game. That's the game. So now Coach Mike Brown has a blueprint for this team as to this is what we wanted. This is the best we can be. This is what we will look to continue to do. I just want to preface this by saying I do not expect the Knicks to do this to any other team going forward in this playoffs. Just understand that that's the best you can get out of them. That's phenomenal, and that's great. I also want to make sure that all the Knicks fans out there, and I'm not talking about you guys, the guys and gals that are here, because I know y'all listen to the show. Y'all come on, you be in the chat with great takes. You watch the panel. Some of y'all come on the panel with great takes, and they're a lot more sensible. But there's going to be Knicks fans out there who are fair weather fans who only tune in when it's playoff time and see if the Knicks are actually doing something. And when they are doing something, they're like, yay, that's my team. Those are the fans that I'm talking to right now, because you guys are the ones that think that because the Knicks blew out Atlanta by 51. Well, if they blew out Atlanta by 51, I mean, obviously whoever they play, Philly or Boston, is better than Atlanta, but we could probably blow them out by 30. Calm down. Calm down. The bottom line is not blowouts. The bottom line is not making records and doing historical things. The bottom line is winning, right? Winning, advancing to the next series, and continuing the championship run. So I just want to put that out there because I don't think that this is what the Knicks are going to do to every team that they play. And don't think just because you've seen them do this against Atlanta that means they are going to win a championship. No. What is going to make the Knicks have a chance to win a championship is continuing to play intense defense, finding their offensive bag, moving the ball around, getting everybody involved, using Cat the way they've been using Cat, and even exploring more with Cat because Cat can do so much out there. That's going to help the Knicks have a chance to win a championship. So I just want them to keep it going. I want us to appreciate this team and kind of just understand that, you know what? It took them a little while to wake up, but they woke up and they woke up big time. You know what I mean? Because everybody wants to complain and say stuff negatively about, hey, man, well, I never should have took this. Hey, the Knicks should have beat this team in 4. Well, it didn't happen. But you know what? Listen, I actually prefer this. I would prefer the Knicks going through this a little adversity with Atlanta and then figuring it out. Because guess what? I think this series, shout out to D-Rex, who talked about how important the Detroit series was for the Knicks last year. This Atlanta series, I knew it was going to be important for them, but I thought it would be a different level of important. Like I thought the Knicks would go through some tough defense with Atlanta and just figure out how to kind of get their game going against a tough defense. But more happened than that. Not only did the Knicks have to go against a tough defense initially, because Atlanta kind of fell apart as the games kind of went through. But the Knicks actually, this series helped them unlock themselves offensively. It helped McCall start to get going. It helped Mike Brown realize finally how he should be using Karl Anthony Towns and figure out a good plan for. And I want to say one more thing, because we get on Mike Brown a lot because of his coaching. And yes, but I don't know if you guys have listened or noticed some of the press conference stuff that's been going on and some of the things that happened when Mike Brown mentioned that, we got to show a little bit more throughout the games. Remember the conversation we had before about, hey, maybe Mike Brown is holding something back? Well, it looks like the Knicks were holding something back and started to open up their offense a little bit more. Now, granted, there was still a lot of issues there, and then we never should have got to this point. But I did say that I believe that Mike Brown had some stuff that he was going to start doing in the playoffs that he wasn't using in the regular season. And we were starting to witness it. Even some of the plays when the guys were moving around on the court, moving guys around in different positions that they weren't moving them to in the past. And getting back to the ball movement as far as making the extra pass. If the Knicks continue to play like that, I'm going to say it one more time until I'll probably say it every day that we have a show. If the Knicks continue to play that way, where they move the ball and they knock down their outside shots, they are a tough team to beat. I don't care who they play. And that even goes for OKC. You guys already know that if there's a team that I feel like the Knicks have a real problem against, it's OKC. But if the Knicks play like this, with that level of intensity on defense, moving the ball, trusting each other on offense, everybody getting involved, using Cat the right way, even OKC would have a problem with the Knicks. But the Knicks have to continue. The problem with the Knicks is you have to see the Knicks do it consistently. Like they got to do it every game, every quarter. That we don't know yet. We've seen it against Atlanta. We have to see it against another team. So I'm really excited and really proud of the guys to be able to lock in that way and see how good they can really be. That's a good thing too, as far as confidence level for each player to see, man, yo, you see what we did? I mean, at halftime, the conversation they have to have at halftime, like, wow, we locked in, y'all. Let's keep it going. Beautiful thing. Beautiful thing. Well, anyway, look, guys, I could continue to talk by myself about this because there's a lot more to get into, but I definitely do want to give credit to those who have stepped up and finally got it together. First, that be without question, Mike Brown. I said the reason for us bringing Mike Brown in here was the fact that he can make adjustments on the fly. Now, I also said last week or 2 weeks ago, I think it was last week, that the problem with Mike Brown is he's been making adjustments, but they haven't been the right ones. Now, within this series, it looks like he figured out how to make the right adjustments. And every button he was pushing in those last 3 games was working. It was hitting. So I got to give him credit and his coaching staff credit for pushing the right buttons and making it happen the right way. And of course, we got to give credit to the players for stepping up and executing. And I also want to give a lot of credit to Mikal Bridges for finally figuring it out offensively. Now, I will say, in the last 3 games, okay, game 6, obviously, but the 2 games before that, Mikal's been playing some really good defense. So even though he was struggling offensively, he started to lock in again. And I said this before, y'all, I keep telling y'all, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has to be the desperation, the big moments, but playoff Mikal is a different animal. Once he starts to get going and gets locked in, he can change games. And the greatest thing about this Knicks team, which makes you feel like they can be a championship team, is that even when Mikal is stepping up and doing what he's got to do on defense, he's still not the difference maker. It's OG, because OG is going crazy. OG has been phenomenal on defense. He's been phenomenal on offense. So to all the haters out there who kind of like OG, but then like, we're giving this guy 40 plus million a year, I expect more. Well, this is more. This is more right here. OG has shown you. First off, we already know OG's got a ring. Okay, OG's been a part of a championship team. Even if he wasn't the biggest piece at that time, it was more Kawhi. He learned. He knows what it is. He knows how hard the team had to work to get there. You're starting to see it come from OG right now. OG's like, listen, I'm trying to win. OG's doing everything he can out there. I am not mad at it at all. Shout out to OG for what he's been doing. And as you know, we can clearly see Brunson had his game. Cat's been playing phenomenally, but OG's been the MVP of the Atlanta series. So first series goes to OG. He's been fantastic. So we got to give him all the credit in the world, man. And that is the key. See, those are the type of things that are the key to a championship team. The best player on this team, I'm listen, you can say however you feel. I'm gonna tell you right now, again, the best player on this New York Knicks team is Jalen Brunson. But just because he's the best player doesn't mean he is the person that the game should go through. It all depends on the matchup. Against Atlanta, you guys know before the series started, it was clear to see Cat was going to be the guy, right? Cat was going to be the guy. No question about it. Excuse me. The flip side is if the Knicks play Boston, Cat's got to be the guy again. No doubt about it. You got to go through Boston. Cat's got to be the guy because as good as Boston's defense is collectively and what they do and offensively, how strong they are as a team, they can't stop Cat. Okay? That's just how it matches up. However, the flip side is if the Knicks have to play Philadelphia, then Cat is not the guy. I'm sorry, guys. You don't play through Cat against Philadelphia. You get Cat involved, but you play through Brunson. Brunson has, I don't know what his playoff stats are, but I think it's around, he's averaging 30 plus points and 7 assists versus Philadelphia in the playoffs. Okay. Yeah, no, that Bag of Jones, that's incorrect. Cat is not the best player on the Knicks. Cat is the player that the Knicks needed to go through because he was the best player in this to use in this series. See, you're talking about Cat in a way that doesn't like we need to be, and I'm don't get me wrong, I know you like Cat, but we need to be smart Knick fans when it comes to this stuff because against Atlanta, Atlanta has nobody to deal with Cat. Okay. Boston, if we get Boston, Boston really doesn't have anybody to deal with Cat. But if we play Philadelphia, Embiid can deal with Cat, and Cat's got to deal with Embiid. So that's why I want you guys to understand. As good as you think Cat is, and Cat is good, but when he has to play somebody who's similar, that's when things change, right? Because not only does Philadelphia have Embiid, they also have Drummond, right? And Drummond is a solid defensive player, but a great rebounder. So that's going to affect what Cat does out there. But more importantly, if Cat has to go against Embiid, Embiid's going to possibly get Cat into foul trouble depending on how they play. Cat's got to be smart. So that's why I'm saying it's different. And that matchup, you have to lean on Jalen Brunson. What more does Jalen Brunson have to show you against Philadelphia? Guys, look up the numbers. Jalen kills Philly. So you got to be smart. Am I saying that because the ball should go through Jalen versus Philly, that it should go back to the old days of the Knicks? No. Now we've seen that OG can be a player and get involved. Now with all of that, you have to get McCall involved more than ever before. So just because I'm saying you go through Brunson against Philly instead of Cat doesn't mean let Brunson shoot 40 shots and just control the ball. No. He just has to be the primary person. But he has to get OG, Cat, and McCall involved heavily, especially OG. OG has shown you the difference. So, yeah, I don't want it to come off the wrong way. I'm not saying Cat is not an integral part. I'm saying you have to play this series by series. And versus Philly, playing through Cat is not the smartest idea because there's not the mismatch there. That's an equal opportunity matchup right there. You still go to Cat. I'm just saying you don't play through him. Now, if we play Boston, yes, you still go through Cat, play through Cat. And I think, honestly, Philly is the only team that I think the Knicks have to worry about in that scenario. Every other team doesn't have a center or somebody big that I think, Cat can't get. Cat can't do his thing against. It's just Philly is the only problem, in my opinion, when it comes to that. Even if they get to the West, Cat has shown he can do his thing against Wemby. And then we've seen McCall go crazy against San Antonio, for example, if they got to that point. And then even OKC. I like Hartenstein, but Hartenstein's not going to make Cat work on the other side as much. So, yeah, you can feed Cat every other series except Philadelphia. I think that's the one you have to be smart about, in my opinion. You guys can say how you feel. I'm just going by what it looks like to me about how the teams match up. I think you can run into a problem if you try to feature Cat too much against Embiid. Now, if Embiid's hurt or if Embiid's not on the floor, that's different. So Paris says Cat is a mismatch for Embiid because he can't guard Cat away from the basket. That's fine, but Cat has to guard Embiid is what I'm saying. Like I don't really have an issue with what Cat can do offensively against anybody. It's the fact that Cat is going to have to work against Embiid. And if Cat plays smart, this is not a conversation. But if Cat gets loosey-goosey with the hands, as we've seen Cat do, Cat can get into foul trouble. What are you guys going to say if we play Philadelphia? First game, Cat gets 2 quick fouls in the first quarter because he got too handsy against Embiid. Now, how can you play through Cat if he's on the bench? That's all I'm saying. I'm not changing anything of the focus of this Knick team and how they got to go out there and play. I'm just saying you might have to tailor the game plan a little bit against Embiid, depending on how it all lines up, how Cat is playing against them and all that stuff. If we play Philly, that's it. That's all I'm saying. Don't forget, Embiid can be dirty. Embiid does some stuff. Embiid got Mitchell Robinson up out of here. Embiid, if they play Philly, Mitchell Robinson might go crazy against Embiid, but he also might get a little overly emotional. If things get a little chippy, we've seen Mitchell Robinson get a little hype recently. Against Embiid, he might lose his cool. And anything could happen. We might lose Mitchell Robinson for a game or two. You never know. I'm just saying, like, the series versus Philly is kind of tricky. Doesn't mean the Knicks can't beat Philly. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying they can make it a little tricky with some of the stuff over there. And another thing I want to say, honestly, I hope Boston wins because I think Philly is the tougher matchup. Forget the fact that I just told you stuff about things we got to worry about as foul trouble and stuff like that. I think Philly's got more weapons than Boston. And I think I'm talking and I'm watching my thing circle, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know if you guys, if I froze up over there, guys. I got to tell you, let me pause my statement real quick. I have done anything and everything with this internet provider. I got to the point where I called them last week and told them I'm very dissatisfied, and I think I'm about to leave y'all. And they offered me, they took $50 off my bill, and they offered me an upgrade in service, but behind the scenes service. Like they changed my signal stuff, my signals. They said, bear with them, give them a month. I'm gonna give them a month. It's already been a week, so we'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And I got to tell you, maybe the coffee here with this extra cold foam stuff is not the greatest idea for my congestion levels, but it's delicious. Okay. Yeah, I know, guys. Hopefully, you guys can see me now. Hopefully, I'm not still frozen. Yeah. Okay. I see myself. Okay. All right. Good. Yeah. So. Anyway, bottom line is I'm giving my internet provider another 3 weeks. And if things don't, I mean, it's starting to get better, but if things don't get back to where I think they're going to be, I'm going to have to figure out another way, which sucks because, I don't know what area you guys live in outside of New York, but, there's certain companies that have a monopoly, right? You can't even find somebody else. So I'm going to have to figure it out. All right. So basically what I'm saying is Atlanta wants to play fast, but they don't really have the horses. Outside of CJ McCollum and Jalen Johnson, there's no real threat that you like, uh-oh. You know what I mean? Philadelphia, however, when Embiid's not on the floor, or sometimes when he's on the floor, but most likely when he's not on the floor, they play fast, and they got threats. Paul George is a threat. Tyrese Maxey is a super threat, and Edgecombe is a threat. Like they got a couple different people that create problems. So, like I said, you just got to approach it differently. But either way, as I've said before, the Knicks can get to the NBA Finals. The only team that I say that they have to, step up really and lock into play, figure out a way to do it is OKC. They've shown they can beat San Antonio, and I know San Antonio's gotten better as the year has gone on, but I still think the Knicks can beat any team. They just have to figure out what's the best way to play it, that team in a particular series. It's incorrect. It's incorrect, Craig. Listen, shout out to you. If you listen to what I said, I already said it. Look, if you guys want to be smart when it comes to, scheming up a plan against a team, you got to figure out what is the advantage, right? So what is the event? Man, This thing has got me all congested. I can't even. Let me get some water. Excuse me. Damn it. I don't know what to do, guys, because this thing is delicious. The cold foam, the marshmallow cold foam with the cookie crumbles. Oh, man. But it's extra. This one is extra today. If you're thinking about what's the best way to deal with these teams, right? Against Atlanta, if I asked any of you Knicks fans, what's the clear advantage there? You're gonna say Cat. They don't have any bigs over there. If I ask you what's the clear advantage against Boston, once again you're gonna say Cat because they got no bigs to deal with Cat. But if I say what is the clear advantage against Philadelphia, you can't tell me it's Cat because Embiid is a good player. He's a great player, former MVP. And they do have Drummond to back him up. Drummond's a little undersized, but Drummond is a specialty player because he's fantastic at rebounding. Bottom line is, as long as Embiid is out there, Cat and Embiid are going to have to go. It's be a little bit of a war. That's all I'm saying. Can Embiid stick with Cat? Probably not. Cat's probably got a little bit more speed and agility than Embiid does these days. So yeah, he's going to be a problem for Embiid to guard. But like I said, the flip side is Cat's going to have to work guarding Embiid, and he could get into foul trouble, which is an issue. So all I'm saying is you can still decide to play through Cat in certain instances, right? But I'm saying don't force Cat to get the ball and go low on the block against Embiid. Like, let Cat be Cat, right? Let him be able to move on the outside, move in the mid-range, get to the hoop, take Embiid off the dribble to the hoop. Okay, fine. But don't, like, force him, like, feed him down low and expect him to go to work against Embiid, because I think that's a recipe for disaster. Is all I'm trying to say. And it's not about Brunson necessarily, being, my favorite player. I told you before, look, you guys can say whatever you want. It's smart to play through Cat in this system and how the Knicks are trying to play. But just because you play through somebody doesn't mean he's the best player. Because Jalen Brunson has the ability to do more in big moments than Cat does, just because of the fact that he's a smaller player, a guard who can dribble. If Cat had handles like Jalen Brunson, then I might have to say, well, then it's Cat, because Cat, no matter what, however you want to guard him, give him the ball in the last 20 seconds and let him just cross somebody up and get to the rim. He can't. He's a 7-footer. That's all I'm trying to say. Like, it's also about just height and stuff and, metrics. That's all I'm saying. I don't think in that situation, you can say it like you can't. Who's another example? Jokic. Jokic is different because Jokic handles the ball. He creates so much action. He passes like a guard. Not that Cat doesn't, but Jokic passes off the dribble. He's different. So Jokic can do it differently. That's all I'm saying. We just got to look at the guys for what they can do. Cat is a 7-foot center. You can't listen. If you guys feel like you trust Cat to get the ball and orchestrate the offense, like dribbling and breaking dudes off the dribble, I'll watch it and we'll see. I mean, we know Cat can pass the ball and be used in a certain way. I'm talking about in the last seconds of games in the playoffs when the defense is collapsing. You got to get the ball in somebody's hands who could take somebody off the dribble and make it happen. Do you want to give that to your 7-foot center in Cat and expect him to take, Paul George or one of these other guys that's going to jump on him to play defense? Do you expect him to take them off the dribble in those situations in the last seconds of a game? No. Jalen Brunson would be your guy for that, right? And if he doesn't have it, he's got to be smart enough to pass it to the open guy. This is what we want Jalen Brunson to do. Take it if it's there. If it's not there, pass the ball to someone else. So everybody everybody is going to be held accountable right now. If the Knicks want to win a championship, everybody got to do something. So Giannis could do that, but Towns can't. Yes, Giannis can. What, like Craig? Giannis has a handle. Giannis can cross people up. I mean, he's a little older now, but he still can do it. What are we talking about? Look, Craig, if you see what I'm saying, let me tell you something. I don't think that any team with a 7-foot center that doesn't have a bona fide handle wants to give their 7-foot center the ball in the last seconds of games or last seconds of moments and make them take somebody off the dribble. Now, could they take a fellow center off the dribble who's slow-footed? Yes. But if they switch and put Paul George on Cat, you expect Cat to break Paul George down off the dribble and get to the rim if he wants, or take the final shot without any like he's going to get contested. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's why you give the ball to someone else. Brunson is the guy for this team. If OG had a better handle, I'd say even OG could be the guy. But you guys know OG's handle is still a work in progress. He's getting better, but you guys know that, right? Would you do it with Macau? Macau has a decent handle, but Macau hasn't shown he can score efficiently. So we're doing process of elimination for those out there. All right. Who's next? Josh Hart. Josh Hart has an okay handle, but you can't trust Josh Hart's game. His shot has to be wide open to take the shot and knock it down. And he doesn't have a mid-range unless he does the little fall away thing where he gets that distance, right? And we've seen him in the last seconds of games not hit that shot. So we can't trust Josh. Well, because he's the best Frozen again. You can't make this stuff up. You just can't make this stuff up. It's very frustrating, people. Very frustrating. Anyway, so what I was saying is, I'm just saying, wasn't Brunson missed the clutch? Now, as I say that, I'm not saying that Brunson should go back to it's all about me. I'm saying he needs to pass the ball, but he's got to go out there, create the opportunity. If they leave him open, take the shot. If they double team him, or if they stop him from getting the shot off, he's got to pass the ball to the right person. I just think that you want to feed the person that makes the most sense in the series of, depending on the matchup. That's all I'm saying. Well, the flip side is, Craig, I think you hate Jalen Brunson now. It's not me loving Jalen Brunson. I think you hate Jalen Brunson now. Which is really not fair because he's played great in the last 3 games of that Atlanta series. And even in the series where they put up 140 points, what did Jalen Brunson have, like 17 and 7 assists? Like, what was the problem? What did he do to upset you? So anyway, all right, let me read this super chat real quick and then open it up old school style for the peoples because we're in the playoffs. Let's go. Let's show the love. Shout out to my brother Andios NYK. Thank you for the generous super chat. He says, hit the like, SKF Nation. Don't forget to subscribe. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Let's go Knicks. Yes. Appreciate you, Andios. And man, just every day I'm counting down. I'm waiting, brother. I'm waiting. All right. Let me put this link out there and I'll say what's up to some people while I do so. All right. Shout out to my guy, Walter Blackman, in the building. Salute to you, Walter. Good morning to you, Ron, and the Knicks family, a member of the SKF Army. Shout out to you, Walter. Shout out to Crim's dad. Did we win? Yeah, yes, we did. Shout out to you, Crim's dad. Appreciate you, a member of the SKF Army. Salute, my guy. Appreciate you. Prezi, the boss, is in the building. What up, Prezi? Says salute to Ron the Teflon Don, general of the SKF Army. Shouts out to the chat. I'm happy our Knicks showed their fair weather fan base and the media stop playing on their name. I hear that. Joey, Rip 'em Up Sports in the building. Member of the SKF Army. Salute. Said Ron and the fam, what up? Salute. Andrew Cadis in the building. Salute, Ron. What up, Andrew? Oh, shoot. Hold on. I just realized I forgot to do my usual. Holy crap. Let me let y'all know what's really popping, y'all. Hold on. It is currently 56 degrees, going up to a high of 61 today. It's cloudy, so it's kind of funky outside. It's not bad, but it's not great. You know what I mean? At least it's not raining. Tomorrow, but the sun might come out later in the day. Tomorrow, high of 61 degrees and mostly sunny. Monday, high of 68 degrees, mostly sunny. Tuesday, high of 80 degrees and mostly sunny. Wednesday, raining and 75. Thursday, raining and 67. And then Friday, mostly sunny, 67. So that's your weather. Sorry, guys. I got a little caught up in my Knicks excitement. Shout out to Prezi the boss once again. Appreciate you, Prezi. Dwayne Dennis is in the building. What's up, everybody? Ready for the great show with a lot of great takes. Ah, man, that's salute. Shout out to you, Dwayne. Dan Cruz is in the. What up, Dan? Salute. So what's up, brother Ron? Good to see you, Dan. Ribby, what up? Said, what up? What's in your cup? Well, yeah, I don't know if you missed it, but yeah, I got the foo-foo stuff today, man. This chocolate cookie swirl with marshmallow cold foam and Oreo crumbles. Ooh, wee, pinky up, baby. Dot Pistons is in the building. What up, Mr. Ron? Salute. Obviously, Bagger Jones is in the building. You know, I already commented on Bagger. Spree J in the building. What up, Spree? Good to see you. Said Ron, always with the good word. You know, we try, man. Sha Powers in the building. Salute, salute, salute. What's going on, Sha? One half of Knicks Real Talk crew. They had a great show yesterday. I don't know if you guys got a chance to tune in, but if you haven't seen it, check out the recap. Dope. Honestly, you know what? The thing is about this cookie swirl, I've had this before and I didn't really love it, but with the marshmallow cold foam and the chocolate cookie pieces, ooh, takes it to the next level. Cardiac Knicks is in the building. What up? Salute Ron, salute SKF chat. The Knicks took us for a ride. That's a fact. 100%. Let me see. Trapped in the 90s in the building. What up, Trap? Good to see you. Chris Gotti's in the building. What up, Chris? Salute. Parrish Doug is in the building. Obviously, I already commented on Parrish. Good to see Parrish as always. Animal Lex is here. Salute everyone. I was impressed with OG Cat. Mitch and Alvarado did some good things for us. Also, shout out to Alvarado, guys. He's actually been playing some really solid basketball in the last 3 games of that series, knocking down some open shots, but also being pesky on defense. Yeah, I mean, Alvarado. So for those who have some issues with Alvarado, specifically one person who just entered backstage. Alvarado's been playing. This is why we wanted him, so he can be this type of player. Not give us too much, but for whatever he does, give us just enough. You know what I mean? So, worldwide, L in the building. What's up, my brother? I hope you're doing well. Good to see you as always. Glamour Nix is in the building. What up? The glamorous life. Everybody know Sheila E? No? Okay. Anyway. Shout out to Glamour Nix. Good to see you. And let's go. Craig is in the building. Me and Craig got the love-hate, but that's my brother. Appreciate you, Craig, as always. Robert Bruce is in the building. Salute, Robert. Said Boston, no effort at all. Philadelphia diving on the floor for loose balls. Boston standing there with their hands on their hips. 50 years Celtic fan, and I'm embarrassed for my team right now. Wow. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Boston. I'm Boston. I mean, Robert. I'm sorry to hear that Boston's playing like that. I'll be honest, I haven't really watched the most recent games. I watched the first two games, but I haven't watched them since. So I don't know what's going on. You know, do you think maybe it's the hunger level? I mean, Boston was always trying to catch that championship vibe a long time ago. Then they finally got it. So do you think it's maybe they're just not as hungry as they were in the past? Because they're going up against a Philadelphia team who obviously is hungry and they're healthy for once in a long time. So I feel like Philadelphia feels like their time is now. If they don't do it now, I mean, how many more chances they're going to get? So that may be part of the problem. I don't know. But I hear you though. Yeah, I don't know, man. D-Rex is obviously in the building. Salute D-Rex. And Travel Vibes is here. What up, Travel? Good to see you. All right, let me just breeze through because I got people waiting backstage. Margaret Edwards is in the building. Let's go, Margaret. Good to see you. Randu's in the building. What up, Randu? Member of the SKF Army. Salute to you. All right, I'm almost there, guys. AP's in the building. What up, AP? Good to see you. Yo, give me whoever is the easiest. I hear you on that. Keith Turn is in the. What up, Keith? Good to see you. JM3 is in the building. Morning, Ron. Morning. Hey, Lotorious. We are. They is. Let's go. Let's go. Yes. What up, Tori? Good to see you. NYC B-Ball's in the building. They both just don't, they're not big fans of Brunson's play. Like I talked to Craig for, it's been a while. It's been years now. Craig is always, he's emotional. He let it be known. And he just wants them Knicks to play the right way. And he gets mad at how Brunson plays sometimes. I get it. I understand. CAA Mafia's in the building. Open the window. It's time. Okay. Shout out to APAP. Thank you for the generous super chat. You know what it is? Anyone think we don't need Brunson is crazy. Yeah, I agree. We definitely need Brunson. It's not a question about it. And listen, I think the Knicks are right now are in the best possible position because they are playing, or at least what they've showed in Atlanta. We don't know going forward, but I think the Knicks are at that point where they're starting to play with whatever they think the other team is giving them, right? So if we go into this next series, no matter who it is, if Brunson seems like he's the guy that can get it going, that's the guy they're going to play through. If somehow, even if it's Philadelphia, if Cat is cooking Embiid and it's like Embiid's not out there, then they're going to still play through Cat. I'm just saying, I think it's smart to just see what you got going on and then make the adjustments off of that. That's the type of stuff, once again, knock on wood, I don't want to change anything or jinx anything, but that's the type of stuff that Mike Brown is supposed to be good at. So let's hope he can continue to do that, and also give the team some grace, because they may not be like the best team ever in life, guys. They might struggle a little bit before they figure it out. So just throwing that out there. Shout out to Kay Cooper. Thank you for the generous super chat. Appreciate you. Says salute to you, Ron. Ron, on this beautiful Saturday, salute to the and hold on. I'm frozen again. Give me a second. Let's make sure we write. Okay. Yes, I was frozen again. There's nothing like being frozen, guys. I got to tell you, nothing like being frozen. Listen, all right. Well, I want to get my peoples involved backstage so we can get a little conversation going. I'm going to tell you right now, if this show is going to be like this all day, I'm not going to stay here too long because, the internet be internet, and I'm not a fan. I'm pissed off already about it. And not only all this other stuff is I haven't even been on Wi-Fi. I'm wired now. So that's supposed to be even better. And still things are happening. I can't win for trying. Also, shout out to Knicks will be 2026 NBA champs. Let's go. What's good, my guy? Man, I feel like I haven't seen you lately. You've been busy? What's going on? Good to see you. HRM the Great is in the building. Kerry Cox is here. Salute, Kerry. Good to see you. That's Kerry, if you don't remember who Kerry is. To Cowboys in the building. Let's go. What up, Ron? Okay. All right, guys. Let me just. No Strays is in the building. What up, No Strays? Says Game 7. We ready for war. Okay, I see you. Listen, y'all got to get right, man. Look, we ready to see Boston. So do what you got to do and get Philly up out of here. We ain't mad at you. Dripmore, a new member once again. The preferred barber of still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. What up, Dripmore? Okay, let me get my people backstage. Shout out to Kingston, Lord Science in the building. Salute, Ron. SKF Nation is Lord. Are you doing phone calls today? Yeah, I'm gonna try to do something for a little bit, brother. So let's hold out and see what we can do. All right, appreciate everybody. Thank you guys once again. Let me bring my peoples in from backstage and see what's on their mind, how they feeling on this wonderful Saturday, even though it's cloudy and it's a little cool, but it's crisp. You know, it's sweater weather. We good. We switch to this one. Boom, boom. Hey, what's going on? Got Tori B in the building and D-Rex. Okay.
What's up? What's up?
Yes. First off, let me just get to both of you individually. How I gotta ask you two. This is two questions right here. I gotta ask both of y'all this. First off, how are you feeling? How, about everything going on right now, and then how are you feeling about Game 6?
I guess I'll go first if Tori doesn't want to.
Go ahead, T-Rex.
So I listen. I was one of the few people that came up on here. Not a victory lap, just saying the facts that I predicted a 6 or 7 game series. However, the way that it ended, I don't think anybody could have predicted this series in general, because we broke history in several regards in this series, which later on we can get more in depth into.
Wait a minute, so D-Rex, you saying you didn't hear me when I said the Knicks were going to win Game 6 by 51?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, continue.
So there was a lot of different points about this series that made history that were very encouraging, but I think that I'm actually very encouraged. I think the 3 biggest takeaways that I have from the series as a whole, it's very, very simple, but each is very good. Number 1 is that Brunson became less selfish. The very first 3-game stretch, I mean, on the whole, Brunson had good games, but did he have an amazing series? Was he the superstar that powered us through the series? No, not really. And he had a few stinkers in the series, if we're being honest. Game 2 and Game 3 specifically, he really got killed by the whole fan base, basically. Mm-hmm. We're going to keep it 100. Does it make him a bad player? You should trade Brunson? No, but he had 2 stinkers where he got outplayed by CJ McCollum. Let's be 100% honest here. So he became less selfish. He became a better basketball player through this series, I think. Number 2 is that the offense started running through Cat, finally. I think in the first 3 games, we were just – our playoff blueprint was Brunson is the playoff guy, so just everything has to go through Brunson. We had to lose a few games for that to be disrupted. Mm-hmm. So Cat, and not only that, but it wasn't just that Cat goes and scores 40 points, but he had, what, two or three triple-doubles by the end of the series?
Two, yep.
When he had never had one in his entire playoff career before.
It's crazy, yep.
So he is a facilitator. I can't believe these words coming out of my mouth, but he was a facilitator. And OG Anunoby ascended. OG Anunoby has ascended completely to be maybe a top 10 wing, top 15 wing in the entire NBA. I mean, I don't know what you could take away from this guy. I've always loved OG. But I think now the excuse of, Jalen has to do the whole offense because there's nobody else he could pass to or who could shoot and take off it's a ridiculous thing to say, you know?
Yeah.
You still want it to be the main offensive engine, but with Cat and OG clearly stepping up like this, and Deuce and Mikal and even Jose Alvarado, who I've been critical of, and Jordan Clarkson also played admirably. It looks like a very good, solid formula that you have here. But I also think you can't get too overconfident. I think that fundamentally the entire series from a Knicks perspective is overconfidence will get you killed. Because everyone in the Knicks fan, 4-game series, we're going to sweep these guys, this, that, yada. Even after game 2, we'll bounce back. I'll wrap up my point with this. It's the first time I believe in the Jalen Brunson era that the Knicks went down in the playoff series and came back to win. I don't think we've ever won a playoff series with Jalen Brunson where we went down 2-1 and came back to win. So I think that's a very, very significant first. And it was just a good strategic structural change for the whole team. Encouraging. You have to wonder how much of it is the Knicks being amazing and how much is the Hawks collapsing and how much do we control and how much can we replicate. But I'm encouraged. So solid series.
I forget what was the. I don't remember what was. I felt like what was the. No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. I was thinking about something. I felt like we were down against some team last year, but I guess I'm wrong. Yeah, now that I think about it, no, because even Boston, we were up 3-1 in that series when Tatum.
We were down in the games.
Yeah.
Back 20-point games.
We actually came back to win the games. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yep, you're right. So that sounds good. I hear you, bro. I hear you. And I agree that I think that Brunson has learned that, but I think he's learned how to play better with the guys and understand that he can't take on everything by himself. Even if he may want to, he can't, except for when he's got it going. Like when he's unconscious, okay, in game 5 or whatever it was, when he had 39, okay, that's a Brunson game. Fine.
But also that was a game where it was like later on in the game where he's like, oh, I need to do this. It wasn't from the first quarter, I need to drop 40 points. It was
right.
It out, you know?
Right. But what I wanted to say is I think the key, before I get over to Tori, the key is that this is something that I've been harping on all year, right? It's okay to say that Brunson has to be better or Brunson has to do this. But if the guys don't step up, then Brunson's going to continue to do what he's doing. Unless you guys, the rest of the guys on the team show, hey, give me the ball. I'm doing something out here too. And in fairness, these last couple games, OG, well, first off, OG's been great, but OG's been phenomenal the last couple.
He's been good. Even when we've played bad as a team, he's played well.
He's been playing great. So OG is showing, hey, Jalen, you got another guy over here. It's not just you and Cat. Now you got me, right? And then if whatever holds true with whatever we saw in that last game from Macau, hopefully that's another really good sign for Jalen to say, all right, we can start getting back to moving the ball around. I can trust the rest of the guys. You don't have to depend on me, and I don't have to feel like everything's on me. I'm going to pass the ball to my guys. They've showed it.
I think after the series, you can't say, oh, Jalen Brunson, he has to fall on his sword and take the whole offense on his shoulders. Like, you can't say that after what we just watched.
I agree. That's a fair point. Tori. Hey, how you feeling, girl? How are you feeling right now, and how are you feeling about Game 6?
I am feeling good right now, and not necessarily Game 6, just the entire series. I think that even Knick fans are failing to see the magnitude of what transpired. The team that we got from games 1 to 3 is definitely not the team that walked onto the floor in Game 4. From games 4 to game 6, we got a completely different Knicks squad. And I don't think we're getting the credit that we deserve. Atlanta is not a play-in team. They're a playoff team. They're a team who actually had the nerve and the balls to sit they players to play us in this playoff series. They wanted the Knicks smoke. They thought they could actually beat this team. So we're not getting the proper credit. We're not getting every commentator, every pundit, half the Nick base thought we were going to lose to the Atlanta Hawks. There was a point in time where I was disgusted. Games 2, games 3, I was livid. You know me, Ron, sunken place in there, windows closed, in the dark. In the dark. I was livid. I want the fire. Mike Brown, I hated everything and everybody. I wanted Jalen Brunson head on a spike. Yo, I was livid. And in game 4, in true Nick fashion, we walked out onto the court and snatched their souls. You could see the shift in the team in that game. Period. You
Yes.
see the light come out their eyes. Their body language just different. Nobody was cutting to the basket. They look frazzled. All they had to do was keep throwing different looks at what's their point? What's their guard name? The old dude,
Oh,
Steve
CJ
Urkel.
McCollum. Yeah.
CJ
Yes,
McCollum. Yeah.
McCullum. You keep throwing blitzes at McCullum, and their whole team fell apart.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
I, being the pessimistic Nick fan, because I know the Knicks be nicking, right? I said, they won. Do it again.
Mm-hmm.
Do it again. Let me see you do it again. In game 5, we didn't have to worry about it because that game was literally boring.
Right.
At no point in time did it ever look like Atlanta belonged on the basketball court. The number 6 seed, who should have been the 5 seed, Atlanta Hawks, who won 19 of their last 20 whatever games, looked like they didn't belong, look like a JV squad against us on that court. And again, I said, okay, the Knicks be nicking. Can they do it again? Because true championship contenders will put their foot on your neck and they won't let nobody up.
Mm-hmm.
And in game 6, I saw something that I never saw from this Knickerbocker team ever. Like, this is the team I
Nobody,
knew we could
nobody has
beat
seen that.
Mm-hmm.
all season long. Like, entire season, I waited to see this game. And they demolished them. It was ridiculous. The middle of the first quarter, the game was over. It had to be like 6 minutes left in the first quarter, and this game was over. Like, there was no coming back. We won this game so convinced, and I want people to take note of something. We were up 61 points in that game. 61 points. I don't care who the competition is. This is the playoffs. You had the best 8 teams in the East in the playoffs. No team should be losing by 60 points. They played like the worst team in the league. Like they was guys they picked up off the street corner. And that wasn't because the Atlanta Hawks aren't good. That's because the Knicks are that good.
Mm-hmm.
They wrecked these guys in their house, just like they were supposed to do. And I just would like to put this out there. We won by 51 points, and Carl Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson weren't even your first or second highest scorers on that day. That day was led by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. If this team is playing at this pace, I don't care who you bring. The Boston Celtics, the Philadelphia 76ers, the Detroit Pistons, you bring what you could resurrect somebody from the dead. Bring them all. And this team is gonna win. They're firing on all cylinders. I don't care who we play. We could play anybody in the East. We could play anybody in the West. From 1 to 9, I'm taking us. So that's where I'm at today.
I like it. I like it.
That's where I'm at. I
Hey,
just would like to note that I'm still in a sunken place. But all the windows are open, I promise you.
You're going back and forth.
that's okay.
As soon as the
That's
rain
all right.
stops, I'm gonna
No.
let the retractable roof open.
Nah, that's fair. That's fair.
All
That's
the
cool.
lights is on though. All the lights. I promise you.
All right, that's fair. Look, I'm with what both of you guys have said. I definitely agree that the Knicks have done some fantastic things, and what they did in that game 6 was phenomenal. As I said before, that was, and I don't feel.
Give me 1
wrong.
second, Ron. Just 1 second, because I know
Yeah.
this is your. I don't want to cut you off, but it's a lot of naysayers, right? And it's a lot of people who honestly, truly think that this is something that can't be replicated because it was the Atlanta Hawks. Like, the Atlanta Hawks aren't a real basketball team.
Right.
They're fast. They're aggressive. They play great defense. They can score the basketball, right? All things that they said we was gonna have trouble with. And because we won in such convincing fashion, they're pushing it off. Oh, we can't do it again. We can't do it again. Because that's Keith Turner in the chat right now. We can't do that
No,
against another
they were
team.
so bad. How are we down 2-1?
Right. And you got them in the chat right now. That's the Hawks. We can't do that against another team. Yeah, it was the Hawks. The Hawks should have been the 5 seed. We walked these dudes down and took their souls. What you mean we can't do that again? Do they not see? Did you not watch this basketball team? The team that came on the floor in game one is definitely not the team that came on the floor in game four. At the end of game four, when Jalen Brunson daddy was yelling at him, and he walked off that court and he took his head and put it against Carl Anthony Towns' chest, like, yo, either it was an apology or it was I'm all in. That changed everything.
That's fair.
Those dudes are in sync right now.
That's a good point.
Yeah, we got to burn a game in game five, but we got to burn a game in lockstep with the entire team. Jalen Brunson didn't force one shot in that game. Everybody was involved, and Carl Anthony Towns was still involved in the offense because he spearheaded it. He touched the ball on almost every possession when he was out there. And you telling me we can't do that again? That means that you're not watching Knicks basketball.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
I'm
no.
tired. People, they're not paying attention.
No, that's Tori. That was if you ever need to stop me again to make a great point like that, as far as bringing up Brunson and his father and yeah, that was fantastic. So definitely, I will say this, and I understand where Keith's coming from because he's been burned before by this Knicks team.
Me too, Ron.
Jekyll and Hyde.
I've been a fan since 1993. How many times we've been burnt?
I know. What all I want to say is, and this is, let me say this real quick before we get further back into our nickdom. Don't let the media do this to y'all, guys. Listen, there's 81 people watching right now. Smash the like button if you haven't already. If you're subscribed, thank you for being here. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Oh, and another thing I want to tell you guys, I don't always bring this up because I don't feel the need to, because I know, 1 second, you hear the buzzer. Okay. I want to say thank you to everybody, right? Ooh, treats. Nice. I want to say thank you to everybody because you know how your favorite content creators, you see them in the beginning of shows, they might say, hey guys, I see a lot of you watching, but a lot of you are not subscribed. Please subscribe to the channel. And I don't bring that up, guys, because you guys, but I want to bring it up now just to highlight you guys. You guys are phenomenal, right? I don't bring it up because you guys, a lot of y'all subscribe. In the last 28 days, 63% of you are subscribed to me. But in the last year, 68% of you are subscribed. So 68% of my viewers are subscribed. I think that's phenomenal. So I that's why you don't hear me bringing it up. I just want y'all to know I want to appreciate everybody out there. Thank y'all for being subscribed and continue to do so. So because that's phenomenal. So thank you. Now, what I wanted to bring up is don't let the media fool you. Okay, these people. There's people that don't know what it is to really be a fan of the New York Knicks, to appreciate what we see on a daily basis, to understand that when we criticize our team, it's because we've seen them play at a certain level and we know they can be better. And when they don't play at that level, we get really upset. And so they kind of latch on. They're like, oh, wow. Yeah. These Knicks, their own fans don't even blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I get it. That's how New York is. We like that. But the bottom line is, don't let them twist your mind and make you think that all of a sudden Atlanta is some boo-boo team, that they barely made it into the playoffs and all this stuff. Because before the series, Atlanta had won 19-3. They were the hottest team in basketball. Everybody's like, oh, I don't know if the Knicks want to see Atlanta. Oh, they
every objective metric of a team, they were a very, very good team.
They were a very good team. Now, one thing I do want to bring up, people also bring up the last 10 games, and I want to shout that out. I want to shout out, I don't know who else said it, but I was thinking it too. I just didn't bring it up. In the last 10 games, Atlanta had a fantastic record against it, but they didn't play anybody, okay? The Knicks had a tougher last 10 games than Atlanta did. So when you look at things, you look at a team, like you also got to look at who they actually played. People do that with the Knicks all the time. When Knicks go on,
we also had a little bit of an easy streak. I don't like that argument because even our win streak, we had like a Brooklyn game. We won a Brooklyn game by 1 point in that same stretch,
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is like they want to downplay it because the Knicks made it look easy, right? It turned out to be a struggle at first. And then
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. We went down 2-1. How is that easy?
No, because everybody's just looking at the last 3 games. Wow. Well, look, if they won the last 2 games convincingly, and then that last game by astronomical numbers, this should have been.
They weren't even close. Those 3 games were not even close.
That's a goldfish memory. Because when we were down 2-1, the world was ending, and the Knicks have to be exploding. They have to trade everybody.
That's why I'm saying don't let the media confuse you guys. Because when the series before the series started, that's what they were saying. Then when the series started, Knicks were down 2-1.
And they all poked their chests out.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every commentator. The Hawks. I should have wrote all their names down on a piece of paper. Wrote it down so I could go back to them. Like, yeah, I heard what you said. But those same people that were picking Atlanta are now downplaying what the Knicks did to them.
Of course.
You literally don't get to say that it was an easy series when you lose 2 back-to-back playoff games in a row, 1 at home, to go down 2-1. That's not the definition of an easy series. It's not.
The bottom line is the Knicks, and Tori already said it. Then what the Knicks did was the Knicks took Atlanta's best punches, right? They took the Atlanta's confidence.
We needed that. It was a reality check.
We did, but they took it, right? And they said, you know what? What's going on here? We know we're better than this team. We can play better than this team. Let's get it together. Mike Brown made a couple changes, whatever he did, right? Obviously, we know the point was to play through Cat. But outside of that, they also made some defensive changes that are not really being highlighted.
Huge defensive changes.
They made some changes.
They identified the threats and locked them down.
Exactly. And once they did that, a young team, this is why you go back to the whole inexperienced stuff and all that, a young Atlanta team said, man, we can't do exactly what we were doing before. Now we're struggling. And now we're struggling to stop them. That started to slowly eat away at Atlanta's confidence. And once Atlanta's confidence was gone, it became, now it's about the talent. And that's when you look at Atlanta and say, okay, they are talented defensively, but offensively, outside of McCollum and Jalen Johnson, who do they got? That's when
another point guard and a real center, but yeah.
That's Jalen Johnson didn't have a good series, period.
No, he didn't. He did. I like the fact that he kept fighting.
He killed Alexander Walker. Neither did Dyson Daniels. Like, they all, pardon my French, but shit the bed.
Yeah.
The only one that played well was McCollum. And that died in game 4.
Yeah, once they figured out McCollum, but once they said, you know what, they're doing this, what they're doing to us, why don't we do that to them? They're taking Jalen Brunson out of the game. Why don't we take McCollum out the game and let somebody else beat us?
To be fair, Dyson Daniels is bad offensively, but he did play good defense on Brunson in the series.
He's a great defender. He's a great defender.
I actually, listen, we talk about this stuff all the time. You hear, I tell you this, no matter who we play, I'm going to say it again right now. Guess what? I talk about Tyrese Maxey. I love Tyrese Maxey. If we can get him on the Knicks any day, today, tomorrow, next day.
I be DMing him, Ron.
I know. Keep it going.
Telling him he looked better in orange and blue.
Keep it going.
And he wasted his talents in Philadelphia.
Might be the year, if they get Philadelphia up out of here, this might be the year they break it up a little bit. Let's see. I hope.
It's so crazy because the 76ers is a team none of us really like, right? But on a team that we don't like, almost every Knicks fan respects Maxey.
Oh, Maxey's great. He's a good.
I think that's a NBA basketball fan thing. Like, how could you not like Tyrese Maxey?
I love him. He's great. I like everything about, and I like not only do I like his game, I like him as a person. I just think he's a fantastic. He's
also a good guy.
He's a good dude. I like that kid. And it's great that I get to call him a kid. I'm old, man. But anyway, continue. So what is Dyson Daniels? Look, yeah, we may feel a certain way about him, but I take him on the Knicks in a heartbeat. Bring him on over here.
We would be a better team with Dyson Daniels. That's a fact.
Yes, and I swear, I think the Knicks didn't forget that Atlanta wanted them, that they tanked to get them, and that game 6 was a message. Like, you wanted us, now you got us.
Listen, I have never seen this New York Knicks team
led by the OG Anunoby. Oh.
Right. Let me hold on. Let me think about this a second. No. I have never seen this New York Knicks team with this team. I've seen them do it before. I think I mentioned this, guys. I talked about this a while ago, a couple years back when they had Derrick Rose. They played a second quarter that was like phenomenal defensively. Derrick Rose was going crazy defense. It was nuts. I have not seen this particular team play that level of defense that they played in Game 6.
I mean, statistically speaking, nobody has ever seen any team play that level.
Yeah. So yes, this is the locked in team that they, and this is one of those other things that we. I shout out to Tori for saying this. I think it's the Knicks stuff is downplayed, but let's not forget. And I said this before, not because I know anything, but I just feel like the Knicks have been waiting to get through the regular season to get to this point. This is what they've been here for. They want to get this done. So I'm just saying, let's let them cook. Let's believe in our team and see what happens. I'm not worried about any matchup. I'm just saying, depending on the matchup, we have to play accordingly. And I think Mike Brown has finally showed it's not about the fact that he makes adjustments. We know he does. I just think that in the last 3 games, he has been making the right adjustments and things are clicking. And so that confidence level that not only the coaching staff has, hey, we're pushing the right buttons, the players get it. McCall is finally lit up. Oh, my God. If McCall's going good and OG's playing this way.
I mean, Ron, another important point to remember is that Thibodeau himself has never won a series going down 1-0. If he loses the first game, he has lost the series almost every time, which we didn't lose the first game, but we went down, and I can't stress the importance enough that we went down and still won.
Yeah. And I think that series, one of the series we could have that we but we went up first, and then OG got hurt. I'm thinking that Indiana series, not last year, 2 years ago. Yeah. But we were still up first. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, it is what it is, man. So now we move on. Atlanta is an afterthought.
Just an important sidebar. These are even more delicious than they look. They're so good.
Well, they look pretty damn good.
They look better. They're even better than they look. We should try them.
All right.
You like them? I'll run them over to your house right
now. I will say this: the next series, who I don't care who it is going to be a test for the Knicks. Okay. Now, as great as we feel and how high we are playing, even though we think we can beat these teams, now everything is supposed to get harder. That's the playoffs. And I do believe that the next series will be a big test for the Knicks. And some people say the next series is like the Eastern Conference Finals because they don't feel now that, they've seen how Detroit's been struggling with Orlando and they see what's going on with the Cavs. They don't feel like those two teams are as big of or any of those teams on that side are a big threat. They feel like it's going to be Philly or Boston. This is going to be the real big series. So we'll see what happens, man. I mean, what do you think, D-Rex? Who would you rather see, or does it even matter, between Boston and Philly?
I've been thinking about this today. So it isn't. First of all, neither will be easy, I think is the actual answer. The Celtics would rather die than lose to us.
Right.
The 76ers, we beat them, whatever that series was. When Precious Chua had the amazing block on Embiid, one of my favorite Knicks moments. But that playoff, Embiid dropped 50 points on one leg, and now he's healthy, Me personally, just on a guttural, emotional level, I'm more worried about the 76ers. I have to be honest. Just because, can we really stop Embiid? No. Can we really stop Maxey? No. VJ Edgecombe is definitely a tough cover, and he's flourishing in the playoffs. Andre Drummond can shoot threes now. They have more of a paint presence. They can also shoot. It's a little bit more worrisome for me because not only they have the physicality, but Maxey is like one of the fastest players ever. Embiid is like the number one in the league for drawing fouls. So I don't really see like an easy road. I don't see a way in which we sweep the 70. There's no way that happens in my mind. The Celtics, if you look at the series from last year, what was it? They went like 25 of 100 from three in the first 2 games, It's like the most history-breaking dumb shot selection ever in the playoffs. That's probably not going to happen again. But, Tatum could get injured. Derek White, I don't really fear him that much as a player because I see he's very inconsistent now. really the person who worries me on the Celtics is Peyton Pritchard, because nobody can stop him, and he always goes off, and he's playing amazing in the playoffs. But as a whole, the whole unit and the depth and everything, I don't know, man. I'm not trying to see the 76ers like that, you know?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What about you, Tori?
I don't care who we play. I promise you I don't. If the road listen, the road would be, I guess, easier. If we have an easier road, I guess it would be through Boston, because we already know how to beat the Boston Celtics, because we've done it already, and last year's team was better than this year's team. So if we could steamroll through, and I'm not gonna, that's not right. The steamroll, if we could beat that team, we could beat this team, right? Philadelphia 76ers, I guess definitely have more talent than the Boston Celtics. They may not have been a better team on paper, but talent wise, they definitely have more talent than the Boston Celtics. So catching them on a night when Embiid and podcast P is on, and Maxi is going to be a tough pill to swallow, right? It's not going to be just easy to just blow through those guys, but bring them on. I'm not scared of Philly. Did you see OG Ananobi? Did you see he was on beast mode? He on demon time.
I hear
Okay,
you.
he is out here doing his best Kawhi Leonard impression. I am rolling with my Knickerbockers against anybody right now. I don't care who you bring. If Mikal Bridges is going to give you 20 points, we winning every time. I'm sorry. I don't fear any of these teams left in the East. I just don't. I don't care who's there. We were up 61 points, and I promise you, being a prisoner of the moment, I just saw the team that I knew the Knicks could be all year long. This wasn't even the team that won the cup.
Yep. No, I feel you. I hear you on
Mike
that.
Brown, who I stomp on every chance I get, because I don't like that man, and I don't like him, and it don't have nothing to do with basketball. Has nothing to do with basketball. I don't like how he handled Cat in the press, and I'm not gonna let that go ever. I don't like it. I don't like what he did. He coached masterfully in games 4, games 5, and game 6. That man had a coaching clinic out there. So he
But
deserves every stitch
he
of
also
credit.
got coached in the first 3 games. I think it was a slap in the face to him also.
Yes. Yes. You're absolutely right, Rex. I think it was a wake-up call, because the tide completely turned. After that game 3 loss, his head was on a stake in front of Madison Square Garden. He couldn't breathe without seeing Fire Mike Brown. He couldn't walk nowhere. He couldn't open up his computer. He was probably getting emailed. You about to lose your job.
Feeling that right now.
Email.
You're about to
Because if I
lose
had
your
his
job.
email, I would have spammed it. Send it to him. Like, that man was under a tremendous amount of pressure, and he still made the proper adjustments to not only win, because it wasn't like we squeaked those games out. We demolished the Atlanta Hawks. It wasn't even close. It was exactly how I thought it should be from game 1. I predicted a sweep, because I'm like, it's no way. They don't have enough to beat the Knicks. I knew they couldn't beat them in a 7-game series. But I'm like, there's no way. How they gonna get a game? They showed me how they was gonna get a couple of games. They sure
Well,
showed me, because the Knicks fan of me was like, no way. And then
Well,
reality hit, and I'm like, oh God, we gonna lose. We
I think
gonna
that's an important lesson for all of us, because every series beforehand we have people saying, "Oh, Knicks in 4, it's a sweep. It's a cakewalk." I don't think there's going to be any sweeps in the rest of for sure in the rest of these playoffs.
Oh no, I don't believe. Listen, just because I don't fear any team in the East doesn't mean I think we're gonna sweep. And I don't think we have the ability to sweep any team left in the Eastern Conference right now. Maybe Toronto, just because we got their number. But I don't think we have the ability to sweep any team, because they're so talented. Like and I don't mean that as in they got great play. I mean as a team. There's real talent left. Like, I don't think we can just sweep through Detroit or sweep through Boston or sweep. These guys know how to play basketball.
yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna lose a game, but we're not losing a series. They don't have enough to overcome us in a 7-game series.
Well, I will say this, Tori. I think that the difference.
I'm gonna blame you, Keith Turner. I'm gonna blame you, Nancy, you negative Nancy. That's who I'm gonna blame.
I think the difference for me between these two teams is I feel like if we play Boston it's going to go 6. If we play Philly, it's going 7. That's the reason why I'd rather play Boston. But I mean, shout out to, I forgot who just said it. Someone just said it. And I know I'm thinking of that too. And I'm thinking maybe the Knicks are thinking of that. Paris said it. Oh, hold on. You know what? Let me read these super chats and I'll get to what Paris said. First off, and then I want to also get to my guy, Nick Nation, in the building. You see. Shout out to Bagger Jones. Thank you for the generous super chat. I said, Ron, who would you trade Maxey for if the 76ers would take him? First off, they would never.
Everybody.
But
except Jalen.
Well, look.
I'm not sure. I would love for them to play together.
Hold on, people.
That's what I want.
No, actually, you know what? That's my thing. That's what I've said, Tori. Yeah. I want the Knicks to have that I don't want to say dominant, but okay, maybe a dominant or go-to shooting guard. And Maxey would be that for the Knicks. That's why I always bring up, Devin Booker. But anyway, yeah, I would want Jalen and Maxey to be able to play together. But I will tell you this, not right now and not next year, but the year after, it would, if Maxey was available and it was a real thing, anybody could go, even Jalen Brunson. And I say that because at that point, now we might have to pay Jalen Brunson $80 million per year. So that's what, but that's the only reason is because of the money. It's because of the money. And he's younger, Right. But that's it. That's the only reason.
Every Knicks fan likes him. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just what it is. But shout out to you, Bagger. Shout out to Paris Duggar. You know what it is. Thank you for the generous super chat. I said, learn tomorrow what I mean by guys running from pressure shots. Tomorrow, including Maxey. Watch, he did it in game 1. Look at Orlando last night. JB never will. Yeah, that's a fact. That's the part of the intangibles that JB has is why I consider him the best player. Do I know? Look, let's keep it funky. 100% with all of the physicality and everything that each player can do. Is Cat the better overall talent? Yes. But to me, JB with his intangibles, with his heart, with his I'm going to go get it mentality, that makes him the better player to me. I know Cat can do more when you think about it. And if Cat was better or really locked in more defensively, I mean, what? Cat would be top 5 in the league. But, that's saying a lot. Let's not get too crazy. Let's just enjoy him for what he is. We appreciate him. And lastly, Paris Douglas said, we want Philly because of home court and they're fragile. Now, that does bring to the point. I think I'd rather want Boston because Boston may be a little fragile too. Don't forget the Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum, is he even playing today?
He's supposed to play, but
okay.
Because they found out it's not as serious as the other things that they thought it might be. So he's gonna play.
Okay,
but that's still a little bit of a thing. You gotta worry about it. And for whatever reason, even Boston people, like you saw earlier, Robert Bruce was talking about something's going on with them. He's upset at how they're playing. Somebody was saying to me, not to me, but they were saying, and I was watching it, that the chemistry with Boston has been a little funky since Tatum has got not when he got back, but now it's been a little funky between the rest of the team and Jaylen Brown and guys figuring out how to run the way they were running before. So that's another reason why I like to see Boston. But I do understand what Parrish is saying, which might be bigger and more important for the Knicks to have home court advantage throughout the series as opposed to, but I don't know. It depends. To me, it doesn't really matter anymore because quite frankly, the Knicks wind up doing their thing on the road. You know what I mean? And all these teams, these are all East Coast teams. Knicks, they got Knicks fans everywhere.
I really just want to say one thing. Can we just not do the Cat versus JB thing? Like, I know that Knicks fans love
I'm so sick of seeing it.
Oh, man.
But it's like we're in the playoffs, and I'm usually the least homer guy here, but like Cat alone is not winning a chip. JB alone is not winning a chip.
Exactly.
That's just what it is. Neither of them alone are winning a chip.
You need both.
So, one has this fault, the other one has that fault. They're on the same team. There's no point. This one's good, this one's bad. Just that's it,
I agree. Oh, wait, hold on 1 second, Nick Nation. Look at this. Jersey Shore. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, Ron, Knicks Nation asked some time ago, who is the dog on this team? It is OG. Hey, listen.
OG and Big Mitch.
Yeah, well, Big Mitch too. Yeah, I did not. I feel like I don't. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know how you guys feel about OG. Even though OG is one of the most, talented two-way players on this team and so skilled defensively, I've talked about this. I feel like he's sneaky because he's very aggressive and physical. But as far as he's kind of, passive with his style. Like he don't really balk in your face and go too crazy. He will defend himself.
I mean, he is British.
But yeah, it's the British sensibilities. It's like what they talk about.
That's as hype as they get in Britain. That's it. That's what we get. OG is a
British. One thing.
He's a gentleman and a scholar.
He's a gentleman dog. He's playing like a dog. He is. Is. Shout out to him. So yeah, I will say he is. If anybody out there is questioning heart and physicality and just the will to get it done, OG has shown that in every game of the series. He's just trying to get it done. He's trying to go through people. he's trying to get it done. So shout out to OG Anunoby, man. And once again, I'm gonna say this because this is important. I want all of us to understand this, to remember this. For the Knicks to win, people have to step up. OG stepping up is important. Macau stepping up is important. Alvarado coming in off the bench. D-Rex coming in off the bench and knocking down.
And a game we're up 1,000 points. Big
no, but he's been doing it since game 4. He's been knocking down open shots.
I give him the credit.
All right, let's go.
Listen, it is. It's a new day out here, Rex. It's a new day.
We'll just take it for what it is.
I'm giving Mike Brown credit. You not dissing Alvarado. Let's go. Baby steps, yo. Baby steps.
Listen, he still can't reach the top shelf. So
no, that's just
me either, though. So I understand.
Are you taller than him, Latoria?
5'2".
Okay, never mind.
How tall is he? Oh, you might be taller than him. How tall is Alvarado?
Possibility.
He's not that. I think he's like 5'6" or 5'8", something like that. How tall is he?
Victoria? Be careful. Mike Brown might make you a center.
How tall?
They list him at 5'11". I think he's listed at 5'11".
Okay,
he's listed at 5'11". He's probably 5'9".
He's gonna curse me out if he sees me. My bad. And there's a chance he could see me because we both be in Williamsburg. He'd be around, yo. He was here actually 2 weeks ago. Shout out to him, man. Coming back to the neighborhood. It was dope.
Ron, you have like 10 inches on him. Relax.
Yeah, but I'm scared, yo. He's a pit bull. No, actually, well, I didn't play with him, but my partner in crime, John, they used to play ball with his father. But anyway, long story. Okay. So let me get to my guy, Nick Nation.
Now you got 2 more you got 2 more contributions, my friend.
Oh shoot, Dad, you all over it, Nick Nation. Man, my bad. Shout out to Kay Cooper. Thank you once again for the generous super chat. He said, "We have home court no matter where we go. Our fans travel very well. Either one, bring it on." Aha! I like that, Nick Nation. I like that, Kay Cooper. I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much.
Lying.
No, that's true. Listen, have you guys noticed? First off, we always have this, right? But have you noticed this year more than any other year, the Knicks fans are everywhere. I mean, we've seen them step up, like even in outside of our home, like the Charlottes, the Atlantas, the Floridas. I've seen some Nick, Denver. You are on my brain, brother. I can't stop. Nick Nation. I see Nick Nation everywhere. Seriously.
When we were playing Denver, you heard the Knicks fans.
Yes.
In Denver, Colorado. I said, what New Yorkers live out there?
Even when we played Utah, there was a lot of Knicks fans in Utah.
Denver.
I was like, wow. Yeah, man, it's crazy. Once again, shout out to my guy Silk Sutton. Always a pleasure to see you, Silk. Thank you for the generous super chat. He said, "Hey, I heard this saying: Brunson, the floor of the Knicks, cat the ceiling."
Is that I don't?
Brunson is the floor of the Knicks, cat is the ceiling. Is basically what he's saying. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Or maybe because Brunson is already the common. He's the steady, right? You know what Brunson's going to give you most of the time. Like you know what he is. If Cat gives you what he can give you, that does take the Knicks to the next level. So I can see what you're saying. Like, yeah, okay. All right.
I think it's matchup based because they have
I
different
don't
matchups.
know about that, but
I mean,
I
I
don't
think
know.
that's what D-Rex just said is where I've been going with this. I do think that it all depends on the matchups. I think that's the key. And the only matchup to me that is one that will make Cat really work is Philly. Outside of that, every other matchup and any team for the rest of these playoffs, I don't even care if it's a West Coast team, I think Cat is okay. Even Wemby. Because I think the thing with Wemby is Cat can pull Wemby out of the paint. And that's big.
I think we've seen Mitch neutralize Wemby. Like we've seen that happen several times this year,
Yeah.
So I'm actually more worried about Cornette on that team than Wemby for us.
Yeah, Cornette is a pain in the butt, man. He really is. But yeah, well, let's cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's cross that Macau bridge when we get to it. Let's get to my guy Nick Nation for real this time. For real. What's going on, my brother? First off, as I asked everybody else, how are you feeling currently about the Knicks, and how did you feel about that Game 6?
Well, let me introduce and say, you know what I mean, what up to everybody. I don't want to be disrespectful, you know what I mean? Coming in the house, I'm wiping my feet. So what up, Ron, the lady of the house, Latoria B, and I'm being disrespectful. And my guy always on the building, always on the edge, Dr. Soros is in the building. And big shout out to the chat. We see y'all out there. You know what I mean? We got look at Taco Cowboy. She came in. She's pumped. She let people in the chat have it. She let people out in the world have it. She said, I don't care who. This is how it's going down. I appreciate that. Appreciate her fire coming in. But now I feel good. Listen, Ron. Hey, they had us. I ain't even gonna. We can't front from a week from here to here. You know what I mean? We was ready to break a foot off him up in Mike Brown. So
this is the Knicks, bro. This is great because this is the Knicks. That's who they are, up and down,
up and down for sure. Because that had us crazy, and like Latoria said earlier, I think that was pivotal, where his father, talking about Mr. Brunson there on young Brunson, you know what I mean? He lit him under fire right there, and for the world to see. Right there in the midst of the game. And like you say, I don't think we look back from there. From that point, it was a pivotal moment. And we just, stayed in the driver's seat. So that's what's up. So a lot of times now we got to appreciate that, hey, his father was there. And we see that his father has that point of common sense of understanding that hey, I love my son, but this is a team game. And my son has got to play team ball. And I don't think he looked back from that point from there. As far as that last game, yeah, that was incredible. Like you say, I've never seen anything like that. And in almost basically 2 days, in 2 days, I've seen something incredibly, which I've never seen. One is to go up in a playoff game by 61 points. I've never seen that, like I say, in my time, period. And
never happened, ever.
Yeah, right. And then to end out with 51 points, to end it out at 51 points, to close it, you know what I mean? To beat somebody by that's incredible. And then secondly, what I saw, I hate to say it's a little bit sidetrack point from the Knicks, but this just shows you how a basketball game can go from one pivotal point to another. And I'm bleeding into just the game of last night. If anybody saw that last night, and that's another thing, I've never seen that in a game before, where you could come up and have that point of an advantage, get walked down, but then totally collapse. I've never seen a team, and if I'm correct or not, I was a little bit later and I was a little bit off of my brain here from the allergy medication, but to say, I believe it was to miss 27 of 28 shots. I've never seen it. I'm talking about the Orlando game.
Yeah.
With Detroit here, because it and I bring it up too because it spoils some of my moment, because I really thought that was it for Detroit, and I thought Detroit was going home. So I was hoping till today to come on, which let me give some pride and gumptions too, because they came back. Hawks ATL literally came back in the chat after he or she was talking crap about what's name, but they came back. I appreciate that. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna, you know what I'm saying? Because the person is here, This is what we want. So there's no full clowning, you know what I mean? Because you had the chutzpah to come back after, taking a beat down like that, in such a turnaround. So I appreciate that. I'm glowing a little bit, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Matter of fact, Ron, I think I need some of your music on so I can start dancing.
There you go.
Hey!
Latoria, help us. The unks are wild and the unks are out of control.
Hey! You know what I'm saying? Get that music on.
Listen, fellas.
Okay.
Latoria, don't call us corny. Don't call us corny. Stop it. Don't call us corny. We know we cornballs.
No, flame me down. Okay, calm down, y'all.
We know we cornballs.
Calm down. On fire over here.
We're loud.
On fire over here.
It's been a tough ride. You know what I mean? I'm ecstatic that, listen here, we're at the next chapter. Listen, I'm looking forward to 8 more wins. You know what I mean? To get me at least into that, into that arena. I like another 12, but to get me into that arena, at least get me another 8 and give me a chance. So let's stay on course and stay on par. And hey, you know what I mean, Ron? But I'm good. I'm just here, back part of the show, Ron. So forgive my giddiness, but I'm good now. All right.
I hear you. I hear you. That's that. No, listen, it is what it is, man. That's great. And it was a good time. I will say this though, a couple things. To me, first off, the most impressive stat, which is historical to beat from all of that, was the fact that the Knicks scored 100 faster than Atlanta scored 50, which is crazy. That's nuts. That is like phenomenally.
At one point, I think OG had more than the team, didn't he?
Crazy.
Yeah, he had 23 points or something like that, and Atlanta only had like 22.
That's true.
That's just nuts. The other thing too is for those, because I wasn't sure, but then it got cleared up yesterday. So the Knicks did not make history with regards to the biggest playoff victory ever by 51 points. That's not the case.
The biggest lead at halftime, and I think the first quarter lead. Right.
The biggest margin of victory in a playoff game was 58 points. New Orleans lost by that because they actually had Chris Paul on one of the shows and they were ragging him about it, and he explained what happened. They lost by 58, so that's nuts. But anyway, also,
to be fair, it's the first time in playoff history that a team has lost back-to-back games by 1 point.
Right. Yep. That's true. I just think that it's great to see that the Knicks are hitting another level and doing it at the right time in the playoffs. I honestly expected, and I've said this before, I thought the Knicks would win the series in 5. I did not think that the Knicks would play at this level. And I'm saying even the game 4 is more like what I thought the Knicks would play, like game 5 as well. I did not, and I'm not talking about the fact of the 51 points. Forget that. I'm talking about the intensity of building on the lead and being able to continue to build on it. Because the thing with the Knicks, you guys know, we follow them, all year. Even when they've had leads and go on runs, they go up 20. Then they bring in the bench or something happens, and then they wind up the lead gets cut down to like 6 or 7, and then they got to build it up again. And it's always back and forth throughout. To see them withstand and continue to build and build and build was phenomenal. But I also want to give credit. I've given credit to this game for multiple reasons already this season. I'm going to give credit to the game again because it also shows the Knicks how to do it and how to withstand it, to continue to do it, even if it was a bad team. That Knicks game versus the Brooklyn Nets, once again, not only was that the catalyst for the Knicks playing good basketball and going on a win streak, the first big win streak of the year, it also was a catalyst for the Knicks playing at a level that they've never played with since Brunson has been here. They've never beat a team by that much before. And to be able to keep their foot on the necks of a team, that game showed them how to do it against Atlanta as far as, continuing to just keep burying the team and keep being aggressive and keep going. Like, because when you watch the highlights, which I would love to put them up, but with the fact that I'm already having internet issues. I'm not trying to slow the show down anymore. But watching them go crazy, the alley-oops to Macau, OG just putting his foot on the gas and just trying to get to the basket by any means necessary. Cat blocking shots at the rim. You know what I mean? Mitchell Robinson enforcing his will.
I mean, I also want to say we've been begging them to feed Mitch all season, and it seems like they finally figured out to do it consistently.
Yeah. I mean, like they're just doing whatever. There was one point when I was watching this Knicks game. This is how you know I was feeling good about us, and we're feeling good about ourselves. There was one point when I was watching the Knicks game, and I was like, man, I'm used to seeing another team play like this. That's what I said to myself. I wasn't like, I'm not used to the Knicks playing like this and getting this stuff and being this aggressive and actually carrying it out and keeping it going. That's another reason why I feel like this Knicks team is different. This Knicks team has a chance to do something really special because they're continuing to get better. You know, that's the whole thing. As long as you can continue to improve and get better in life, you never know where you can go. That's what I feel about this Knicks team. We're in the playoffs, guys. Finally here, and the Knicks are getting better as we go along. That's what I want to see. That's what I feel proud about. Okay. That being said, guys, I don't want to go too crazy because, like I said, it's tough to really have a bunch of new content about stuff because we don't know who we're playing yet. If we knew, then we could get into it. I can get into matchups and we could talk about stuff. But since we don't know yet, we got to wait and see. But what I do want to go back into, because I think this is important. I think we went hard. We went hard. we got to go. We got to go equally as hard. Pause for all you youngins out there in the opposite direction. Tori, this is your segment. This is your segment of the show. Mike Brown. We have to say, and she's already given him credit, but I think we have to kind of look back and look at this situation and say, because and mind you notice how Mike Brown takes all the bullets, as well as he should. He's the head coach, but we know that Mike Brown has a collective over there. So I want to give credit to not only Mike Brown, but I also want to give credit to the rest of the coaching staff. This is when you look at Brendan O'Connor and you say he's one of the best defensive coaches in the NBA for a reason. When they start to make changes and adjustments, I don't know if it comes just from Mike Brown or, I mean, obviously it comes from a collective, but you don't know whose ideas are coming up. Like, oh, we should do this. Because Brendan O'Connor is a great mind over there. So once again, it goes back to, this is twofold. This is a little bit of Mike Brown and also a little bit of the front office, because we've been getting on the front office all year about their ineptitude or inability to put together what we think is a real championship roster because of all the issues we've dealt with all year. But what we can say is, from top to bottom, if the Knicks can play at a high level and show that they've beat more good teams this year than they did last year, without question. So we know that can happen, right? And the coaching staff, with the additions that they've made, can we all agree that when the Knicks do play at the level we expect them to play, they look better offensively than they did last year?
Yeah.
Okay. Can
yes.
we all agree?
The offensive ceiling is higher, yes.
Right. Can we all agree that even though Tom Thibodeau is the defensive guru, and you kind of know exactly what you're getting from him, and they do play really good defense under Tom Thibodeau, but some might say that this year they look better defensively at points. And even the people are really harping on that fourth quarter basketball play this year compared to everybody else in the NBA. That wasn't the case under Tibbs. If anything,
that definitely was not. Yes.
Yeah. So I just want to say maybe the front office has done a little bit better than we like to give them credit for. Maybe the problem is with this Knicks team, they're slow learners. They're just slow to get it together. They got too many distractions maybe going on because it's New York. Maybe it just takes them some time to lock in. I'm making excuses for them, but when you see the proof is in the pudding, when they start playing this way, maybe you say, you know what? Maybe there's just something about them. They just have to deal with adversity first before we can see the best of this team. It sucks, but I don't know. I don't know.
I think if I could sum up the entire series in one line, it's that I think we play our best basketball when we're humble, and we play our worst basketball when we're arrogant. Because when we were humbled by this team, which did factually happen, and our backs were against the wall and the entire team was about to get blown up, you saw the team make all the adjustments that they needed to make to come out and play essentially the basketball we've been begging them to play the entire season. It did take that. But to your point, Ron, Mike Brown, coaching staff does deserve credit, 100%. You also got to put it in the right context. I mean, the team really looked bad in those two losses. They really were terrible defensively. You have to be honest. Even though it was a 1-point margin of victory, it felt like a 20-point loss, like in terms of how bad the defense was.
Mm-hmm.
And especially for me, something I'm never going to let Mike Brown live down is, we need somebody in for the defensive possession of the last game against C.J. McCollum. Let me sit Mitchell Robinson in and bring in Landry Shamet and Deuce McBride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just – you have to have a right context about it. I think a lot of the delusions and myths that we went into the series telling ourselves got exposed, and that's why I wanted the Hawks in the first round, because I knew that they would make it untenable to keep playing in a lot of these delusional lineups and ways throughout the series. So I'm in a weird way, I'm grateful to the Hawks.
I hear you. And funny thing is, I felt the same way. Now, we talked about this last week, and I actually wanted Toronto because I thought it might be the easier matchup. But you know what? Toronto has been playing pretty damn good basketball on their end where they're playing. Now that the team they're playing is not the Knicks, but still, you want to give Toronto credit. I like to give my guy RJ Barrett a little credit for taking.
Apparently he's popping off,
yeah, for taking that last shot and hitting it. It was crazy that it went in, but
but he was terrible.
Hey, I like the fact. I've said this about RJ his whole career that I liked about him. As much as people wanted to get on RJ for his defense, because his defense can be. But when it comes down to it, when you need somebody to take the shot, before we had Jalen Brunson, we had RJ Barrett, and he would take the shot. He'd be willing to take the shot. So I give RJ credit for that. He's willing to take the shot. So
true.
But yeah. So I mean, these are the type of things that I wanted to kind of talk about real quick, is the fact of the coaching staff, Mike Brown, the front office. Do they deserve a little credit? Because maybe sometimes the best laid plans have to be executed properly. If they're not executed properly, you look at them in the wrong light sometimes, and then you start to question, was this the right move? We can point to everything, but like, for example, Alvarado. When D-Rex points out certain things about Alvarado, he is correct. I agree with him. Even when we got Alvarado, we knew that, he's been on the decline defensively for the last 2 years.
I mean, he literally said verbatim to the New York Post, "I effing suck" on the subject of his three-point shooting. Like, he literally said that.
It's true. But what we have noticed towards the final games of the regular season, and especially the last 3 games of the playoffs versus Atlanta, he started to hit more open shots. So obviously he's been working, to continue to try to get better to knock these shots down. And I think he has the one thing about Alvarado I can say is he has a lot of pride. Like he's got like hometown pride, and he doesn't want to be embarrassed. His people, his family members and friends, everybody's like talking about him. He's happy that he's here. He doesn't want to embarrass himself. Plus he's got like connections on the team, people that he like Josh Hart and stuff. And so there's a little sense of something that he wants to win here. He wants to be a part of this. But like, that's an example of a guy that, and I've said this before, and I think a lot of people would agree, if Deuce McBride was healthy, there's no need to trade for Alvarado. That's not the guy you go after. Now, the fact that Deuce wasn't healthy and we didn't know exactly when we get him back and if we were going to get him back at all, I could see you making the move, right? But now that he's here and we have Deuce here, and Deuce is still kind of struggling to kind of find his, he's not where he was before. He's just hasn't gotten, he hits a couple shots here and there, but it's not the Deuce.
I would actually still say he had a good series.
Oh no, he's been good, but it's not the Deuce that he was before he got hurt. Like Deuce was on fire. So it's good to have that little contrast between Deuce and Alvarado. One guy comes in, Alvarado's like a buzzsaw. Even if sometimes he's a little erratic, it's still, you like that. It's good. So it's nice to have that. And I thought that honestly, all the moves they made, the Sohan stuff and whatever, you thought Sohan was going to be a bigger piece, but Alvarado seems to be a little bit steadier piece because the other side of Alvarado, outside of the fact that he's small and defensively, sometimes he struggles to stop the opponent, and if his shot's not falling, that's a problem. But it's the steadiness with the ball handling and the passing, because he has been. If you're not going to play Tyler Kolek, then you need Alvarado, because at least he's getting assists when he's out there.
Right. That was the thing that I really didn't like in the first 3 games, is that our backup ball handlers off the bench were Deuce McBride and Landry Shamet, which I never understood. And even though I don't like Jose Alvarado that much, he's a much better ball handler than Landry Shamet for sure.
100%. No question about that. And Shamet not only struggled, but I think you said it the best. Once Mike Brown got to humble his thought process and say, you know what? All right, let me sit Shamet and stay with this. And if we need Shamet, we'll put him out there. But I can't go through Shamet. This ain't working. Once he started to do stuff like that and start feeding Cat the ball and saying, okay, let's put Cat at the high post and have him either make the play or decide who gets the ball. Let him start to. That's when he started coaching. That's when he started to do some stuff. To okay, now we're cooking.
I mean, I think he deserves credit for that, but it also is a little bit of I think Steph from Dope Soul Sports, shout out to Queen, she put it the best. Because he was a PG in high school, now he can be a PG in the playoffs.
She did.
Come on, bro.
I think what it is that the weird thing, and I don't know who said it, because I've been watching so much Nick content these days. Somebody said it on one of these shows, and was it an interview? I don't know. I watch so much stuff. It's all muddy right now. But somebody said it feels like Cat enjoys passing the ball more than he scores at times. Because he's whipping the ball around. He's holding it.
You know what? I'll actually give credit to Mike Brown on that one, because I was someone that was skeptical that the Mike Brown, the demonification of Cat was never going to pan out, because he just, he can make amazing individual passes. To be fair, we need to see it in a series where they have a real center. Still a huge qualifier there. But that he would actually act as a real hub and could get 10 assists in a playoff game consistently, I was always skeptical. So you know what? I will give Mike Brown credit on that.
And I've said before, when it comes to Cat is a great passer. The problem with Cat is that sometimes he doesn't. He has to find his touch on his passes. He throws those Julius Randle passes sometimes, and those are Mike Vick passes. They'll break your fingers, and that's an issue. But he has the good idea. Sometimes he gets a little too flashy, but that's how he likes passing. So yeah. I got to take it. You take the good with the bad. Sure. But so anyway,
I give him the confidence. I give Mike Brown the competence of finally giving the confidence to put into Cat, because we know from game 1 in the playoffs, he gave it to him there and then took it away for games 2, 3, and then woke back up and say, game 4, okay, this is the best route. And then that changed the point of the format. But it's confidence, instilling the point of saying, yeah, this is what we're going to do, and then not waffling. Once he waffled in games 2, 3, that's basically what hurt us. He got opposed to the 5 turnovers in game 5 and got cute and thought that they could perfect it in some other way, which then turned around and hurt us. But then once we got back to that core of it, it took off from there. So,
and another thing, I also think that Mike, well, we talked about this, with the issues between Brown and Cat. I think Mike Brown was trying to treat Cat like a throwback player, because he is a multiple-time All-Star, has been in the league 9 or 10 years. No, you have to treat Cat like today's player. Today's player is a lot more sensitive, needs a little bit more coddling, and I think that was what really messed Cat up. And that's why Cat never felt comfortable knowing his role on the team and what he needs to do, because Mike Brown basically was telling him to just figure it out. You know what I mean? You're good enough. I'm making this team to revolve around this, and we're going to move the ball, and I want you here. You're good. You're a 5-time All-Star, 4th. You know what to do. Just figure. I think that's part of the problem. I think once Mike Brown started to say, you know what, I got to do more to get Cat to the spots and then get the gameplay to revolve around Cat's strengths, that's when you start coaching. that's the difference between a coach that can coach anybody and a coach that can coach some people. You know what I mean? That's the problem with what we talked about Tibbs. Tibbs could coach the stars. He couldn't coach the questionables. You know, he didn't know what to do with the question marks. So
to be fair, like I don't think he certainly if there's any player he didn't coddle, it's Cat. He's thrown him under the bus several times.
That's why he needed to coddle him. That's what I'm trying to do.
Bus run over.
Yeah, because Cat is a he's a little bit of an oxymoron. Very strong-willed, plays tough, is not soft, but mentally, anybody. I don't want to go too much into this because I've gone to it in the past. Anybody that tells you that sometimes when I'm on the court, I have to go to my alter ego, what? That tells me already that you got some stuff going on. So, and that's cool because everybody's not perfect. I mean, he's fantastic at the game. But if you got to tap into another person inside of you, like, you know, Cat Fierce, like Sasha Fierce, if you got to tap into somebody else, that tells me. And then also with everything he's gone through in life, Cat has been through some horrific things. Some other people, you know, depending on people's psyches, would have been out of the NBA, you know, because like this is too much for me. Losing my sister, losing my mother. This is real stuff, bro. So the fact
also Cat gets criticized a lot more than the average NBA star, and
of course he does. And then he's got mannerisms. Okay, he was raised by women. He was raised by his mother. His father was, you know, a strong presence in his life, but his mother was really influential. So he picked up some tendencies. All right, he's a little softer, a little more emotional with his. All right, that don't make you, you know, a punk and all this other stuff, and you got to be clowned all the time. Like Cat has to deal with. Let me tell you something. Cat is a bigger man than I am. When it comes to like when we talk about this show and how certain stuff happens and I carry myself and guys are like, hey Ron, you know, I like how you carry. Listen, if I was Cat dealing with some of the Cat, you would see Ron go crazy. I'd be cursing everybody out. Like, what? I'm what? The Cat takes it easy. Like he shows a lot of restraint. He's a good dude that just has some tendencies, some mannerisms, and some weird voice inflections. It is what it is. So why does Cat get the stuff that he deals with, but Tyrese Halliburton doesn't? Tyrese Halliburton's voice is all over the place.
Right.
So
what is he, a tough guy? That's a tough guy, a tough player. He's so hard.
You know what I mean? So it's just too much, man. It's too much. Whatever. I deviated, guys. I went off on a tangent right there about my guy Cat because I do appreciate it, man. I just think that he's dealt with so much in life that, you know, give the guy some grace. Give him some grace. And not only did he deal with all this stuff, the dude turned it around after the All-Star break and became one of the best players in the NBA and one of the best players on the Knicks as far as locking in, staying away from foul trouble. When's the last time you heard Karl Anthony Towns have 4 fouls? Like he's been doing a great job of staying out of foul trouble and being on the court. So
wasn't there a game where he had like 2 steals and 2 blocks in this series?
He's been blocking shots this whole series. His defense has been excellent this entire series.
Yeah, no. So shout out to him. Okay, but anyway, let me get to Tori and Rex and Nick Nation on this. I know Nick Nation kind of already chimed in a little bit, but how about you, Tori? I know you kind of spoke on it a little bit, but also your thoughts on not only just Mike Brown's adjustments and his coaching throughout the series, but also the front office and the moves they made. How do you feel currently? Do you think like things have been good, or do you think they made mistakes and we're just dealing with some benefits of stuff? I don't know.
Everybody make mistakes, right? But I think as a fan base, we want everything right here, right now, right? So when they made the moves that they made, we all over it. Like, oh, this ain't right. This not gonna work. And then we had some struggles during the season, right? And now, when you look at this team as a whole, and you look at the coaching staff, and you see it all start to come together at exactly the right time, you got to tip your hat to those guys. Did they make every single right decision? No, absolutely not. Like you're human beings. Like, and then you can only do what the cap allows. Because I'm sure if they could have went out there and got better players, they would have. And that's not a knock to the players that we picked up. But you working with a certain amount of money, and in that tax bracket, you got to get who's the best in that group for your team. And like you said, I don't think we would have had Alvarado if Deuce wasn't hurt. Like they knew Deuce was going out, so they went and got Jose. Like that was smart of them. We didn't know at the time. We just like, why they brought this guy in here. And now when you look at the team that we have and you looking at Alvarado playing the play, and just the fact that he stepped in for Shamit when Shamit wasn't performing. I just think he's still hurt. Like I think Shamit, for as much as I praise our training staff, I think Shamit may have come back a little too early. I think Shamit is still hurt. Because he's just not his shell of himself. He's not the same player that he was. He's not even being playing well on the defensive end right now. Like I think he just came back a little too early. So Alvarado was a great pickup for this team because he's scrappy on defense and he can handle the basketball. So if I had to give them a grade, it'd probably be like a B, maybe a B minus.
Mhm.
And that coaching staff is coaching some really good basketball because they're coaching by committee. Like I don't know if it started at the end of the season or if it started like right in the place. I didn't notice the guys walking off the court and talking to the assistant coaches as instead of Mike Brown. Like I didn't notice that to the end of the season. I'm like, I know I was on with Freezy one night and I'm like, yo, who's the guy? You know the ball headed guy. They keep
Right.
going off the court and talking to him. Like he's there every day. Like you see them, they're all animated. And sometimes it takes four sets of eyes instead of two, or six sets of eyes instead of two, to get a grasp of the entire game because you might be watching one thing and another guy's on the other end seeing something else. And it's good that Brown has these guys in a place where they're comfortable saying something. Tibbs would never.
That's a
You
fact.
you wasn't talking to nobody on that sideline. You was looking at your clipboard and minding your business. So I think they're doing a good job. I mean, I still even with that, I was still furious, and I think they made horrible mistakes in games 2 and games 3. But you live and you learn. It's not like we was kicked that we lost the series. We just lost the games.
Right.
But they showed me in games 4, 5, and 6 that they knew how to turn it around, and they
Yep.
coached some really good basketball games. So I'm not in a sunken place with our coaching staff or with our front office. I think they're doing a good job.
Okay.
You
All
know.
right. Good. Good. And listen, bottom line too is like we also got to give credit. I mean, we talk about the coaching staff, but we got to give credit to Mo Cheeks. Sorry, my fault. Sorry, I said Mo Cheeks. Sorry, my bad. My fault. Anyway, listen. If there's anybody I envy, it's Mo Cheeks. If I could just trade places with Mo Cheeks, what? You mean I could sit on the sidelines around all these dudes and the Knicks, and we a championship contending top team, and I'm getting paid? Oh man, Mo Cheeks.
Mo better.
Mo better. But in fairness, Mo Cheeks has had a historical career, and I gotta tell you, I always find that there's a lot of stuff that goes on behind the scenes that we wonder about that nobody talks about, and it makes you think maybe there's some other little things going on here. Maybe Mo Cheeks with the NBA and packages and medical and all that. Maybe they keeping Mo Cheeks on so he can kind of get himself taken care of. So when he gets up out of here, he has some money to play around. I'll be looking at things because the Knicks be doing some stuff like picking up and signing people and all those types of stuff they do for like 2 days and like you never know, man. You never know. Just let it go. I mean, we saw something happen in football where they gave Phillip Rivers a job so he can get back on the healthcare package. You know what I mean? So listen, it is what it is. I don't know, but I digress. Shout out to Louisiana Knicks in the building. Priest, salute Ron. Shout out to Buzzer Beater for life. Good to see you. Shout out to L. Damn it in the building. What up, L?
Pew, 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 pew. I was ready, Ron.
Shout out to L. Let's go. Jay Davis in the building. Alvarado at this point of attacks. Yes, a ball handler for sure. Shout out to you. Shout out to Agent Super Argo in the building. What up, Agent? Good to see you. Also, shout out to Nick Yak in the building. What up, Nick Yak? I forgot where you're. I thought I started, but I can't find it. But anyway, shout out to you. Well, he talking some negative stuff in there, but okay, I ain't gonna shout him out. Let him get his off, but keep it in the chat, and let me just show y'all something because y'all be getting it twisted. Take a look, reads.
Yeah,
I'm gonna give y'all a quick 30 seconds to read this.
Yeah,
I wish I had my dating game music right now. Mm.
Hey.
Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
All right. Listen, that's just me putting something out there so that y'all know the rules and regs of the show. Don't get it twisted. Keep it classy, Freddie Blassie, baby. Okay. All right. And anyway, this is for my attempt at a bad joke with Mo Cheeks. Sorry, guys. Shout out to Mo Cheeks. Hey, and shout out to Daddy Brunson. Where's my guy Wolverines right now? He's always talking about how Daddy Brunson and Mo Cheeks are just collecting a check. I think Daddy Brunson might have done something to kind of help this team. Shout out to Daddy Brunson. Okay, we'll take it. Hey, D-Rex, you got any shows or performances this week?
Yeah, the Alvarado diss track's coming out tomorrow.
You just let me know, man. Whenever you perform, I'm there. Okay. So, I don't think you weighed in on it. So, what's your thought about the front office, D-Rex? I mean, I know you already kind of talked about Coach Brown, but what about the front office?
I'm going to be consistent here. Look, really, by the numbers, did Alvarado save the series, swing the series? He had a competent, good performance. Was it bad? No. Was it amazing? No. I think he did his job, basically. Does that necessarily mean that he was the best person available at the trade deadline for our team? I also don't think so. That being said, I mean, we are in desperate need of ball handling. We definitely need point of attack defense, but we've also seen, for example, very shortly after Alvarado was brought here, there was, I recall, the Pistons game where Cade Cunningham dropped 42 points on him. So we've seen the bigger jumbo initiator types that we've still struggled with throughout the season still present a challenge to him. I mean, you got to be honest, the guy's 5'11". He doesn't have go-go gadget arms. Like Deuce is short, but Deuce has a long wingspan. And Deuce, even though he wasn't hitting shots this season, he also played a solid point of attack defense. So I'm not going to say it was a total disaster, but another series where it really got like a standout performance, that's what the standard I would like to hold. And it also kind of begs the question, why is Jeremy Sochan here? Like if, for example, you're not going to bring him in for that one possession against CJ McCollum, that's a golden opportunity right there. I also like Sochan. Do I think he's necessarily the best guy that could have been on the roster? I would maybe have given that roster spot to Kevin McCullough Jr., But like Deuce was hitting shots, but then in the last game most recently, it doesn't mean that he's playing bad. It doesn't mean that he's playing bad if he's not hitting shots. In the most recent game, he was like a plus 20, not having hit any shots because his defense is good. So, I mean, I don't know. We need to see more, basically.
And I do think that look. The bottom line is the fact that we don't see Jeremy Sochan is a good thing. Okay, I think the issue with getting Jeremy Sochan is he's somebody that he fell in our laps, and you're like, the guy has good height. He can play solid defense, especially when he locks in, right? But in order to lock in, he needs playing time, just like a shooter. You need playing time on defense too to kind of get going and get in a rhythm on defense and get your spots and start moving. And it takes a little bit. But
Ron, I thought of a better way to answer it. Like right now, our team looks good because we just had a demolishing performance against the Hawks. But let's say knock on wood, probably, hopefully, Mikal Bridges and OG will be fine. But if we lose one of our wings, then what's everybody going to be saying? Oh, the Knicks have no wing insurance. The Knicks have no wing depth.
This is correct. Yes, D-Rex. I was trying to say it without saying it, but it's okay. You said it. It's all right. We're going to get past the superstition. I'm a baseball fan too. I don't even want to think it. But yes.
Don't bring the Mets up.
The point is just that the conversation can change very quickly.
There you go. That is the bottom line. You do not want to see Jeremy Sochan, but if you have to, he's here. That's all it is. And I will say that even though Jeremy Sochan can't shoot, if you looked at him in garbage time when he's been playing, he's been scoring. He's been finding other ways to score a basket. So shout out to him.
Yeah. I mean, look, Peter Patton has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, no, 100%. And did I already say what's up to? No, I don't know if I did, but I'll say it again. Shout out to Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knicks fans and the Knicks community. Let's go. Ron, I agree with you on Rick Brunson. I think when he had the talk with the women of the community have pointed this out. Shout out to Tori B as well. They see it. They get it. Why did that hit again? I don't know. Yeah, but I mean, I think that's these are all good points, and I think this is just stuff that we're dealing with and we're seeing happen in front of our eyes, man. Look, it's gonna be okay. Did I freeze?
No, you're fine. I'm not saying it's like a disaster that the front office should be fired or whatever, but I think at least something can be desired. I think that's fair to say.
Yeah.
I honestly think the biggest thing that we've done and have to give credit for, really, and I believe it's what got us here. I'm going to give shout out as far as a collaboration point, the defense. If we really look in totality from where we started from, we ranked like, what was it, 27, something crazy, you know what I mean, at the beginning point of the season. And so you got to give credit to the defensive coordinator. And as far as, like you were saying in the beginning, the difference points between Tibbs and now is that we went away from drop coverage to now more of just, you know what I mean, how we single cover and hedge. So from the drop point to the what's name, it took these guys quite a long time to fully integrate themselves into the defensive system, which we run now. And a lot of times we kept saying, as far as on offense, when we would revert back, but on defense, we did it too. There were a lot of times where you could see our centers and other guys where they would go into this point of a drop coverage point. And I think that has been a huge point to make the change from us. In Tibbs' time, where, you know what I mean, in point of his perfection of it, because when that defense was more heightened in a sense, the league was different. The league had been situated more for a big man game and big man ball. And as far as what's names, not as far as for a lot of times now, these new age offenses and a lot of these, you know, perimeter shooting games. So a lot about these centers, they now are pulling you out and they shoot. Or the power forward is what's named now, all of a sudden power forwards are all shooters. Or you got system teams where, like Boston, where there was that 5, you know what I mean, the 5 spread and boom, shoot, shoot, shoot. So that was the biggest point, because as we remember, the 3-point what's name was just murdered us. We were just abysmal by that what's name here. So the biggest turnaround, the biggest collaboration point for me was getting the defense changed around and changing the narrative of 2 of the worst defenders in the league, which were rated as far as being hunted. We've changed that narrative in somewhat, up until this point, we have changed that narrative of Brunson being the weakest and Cap being the weakest at their positions. And in Fold, they have become much more adequate and excelled in some ways. And with that, I think that single-handedly has really pushed us forward. If we somehow lapse back and don't really focus and become the main point is a defensive point first, we can definitely slide back. But for the most part, we have stayed solid. There were some times where it goes back and forth and back and forth, but I beg to differ, especially I'm not an overly statistician person, but I'm sure if you go into the points and look at those numbers, that has been a huge, to me, it's probably been the number one change that we've done that has excelled us and put us in a better position. How far it goes, we shall see.
Yeah, if I can back onto his point, I think, and short, sorry. I think the most encouraging thing for me is, like, look, we all have our principles and ideologies and beliefs, but this series, they went into this series with one plan. It didn't work, and they adapted. They admitted they were wrong and tried something different. That's all I need from the coaching staff. That's all I need, is that even if you have a set idea in your mind of how you want the series to play, a plan A, if you go into the series with a plan A and it doesn't work, you try something different, you admit you're wrong, and just see what else you could do, because that's what you need. That's all I need from them.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, look, if we all went into this season knowing that the Knicks could possibly be a better team, offensively, we knew they were going to be good, but we were just hoping that there would be a top 15 defensive team. If they could get top 10, we'd be like ecstatic, like, okay, great. And then it's like once we got there, it's like almost like we didn't really appreciate it as much as, because I don't know, it just didn't seem as dominant as what we thought it would be or whatever. I don't know. But the Knicks turned out the end of the regular season top three. I mean, well, the third best team offensively in the NBA and the seventh best team defensively. I mean, that's monumental. That's fantastic for this team. Going into the playoffs, overall right now, they are the sixth best defensive team in the with the current playoff teams. And in the last 3 games with what they've been doing, when they've really turned on and became this Knicks team that we like were hoping for, they are the third best defensive team in the NBA. So and you know that they're still top 5 offensive. If probably with that 140-point barrage, they might be number 2 or number 1 right at the current time. Who knows? But like this is what you hope for, and just the fact that it's happening in front of us, great. Yes, and Atlanta, the whole thing. But the point is, it's showing you the ability. They just have to keep it going and continue to lock in versus this team. Let me get to this super chat real quick that I didn't get to before. And shout out to Endgame in the building. Salute to you. Shout out to Paris. Dougie says, if Cat earns $60 million, then we will win. It's time. Okay. Hey, listen, that's Cat just going out there and playing to the best of his ability. Look, I don't think there's any other, like, outside of everything that we've seen already with how great OG's playing, and if Macau's starting to wake up, fantastic. But if Jalen Brunson plays good basketball, and then he starts getting double teamed or blitzed, and Cat plays good basketball, there's nothing this Knicks team can't do, because those two guys create so much action and motion that if they're playing well, everybody's going to eat on the team. And listen, another thing that I don't want to get too deep into this, but guys, I think you all know this. If you watch basketball, you know how a good player affects other players. Don't get it twisted. The fact that OG is eating the way OG's eating is, he looks great, but he's eating because he's out there with Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns. If he was just out there by himself and now the defense has to collapse and work off of OG, it's a different story. But knowing that you got Brunson creating attention, Cat creating attention, and I'm over here, hello, give me the ball, let me go to work. Oh, it's beautiful for OG. So let's just not forget that, though. Those two guys are creating a lot of great moments for everybody else to eat. So, all right. Now, listen, as I said, guys, I didn't want to go too crazy. This show is already 2 hours and almost 30 minutes. And as I told you before, without knowing exactly who we're going to play, can't have the content to the level I want to have it at. But I do appreciate everybody for tuning in and locking in with me for the time that we've been here. I just want to get around to everybody, get your final words, and get off the show and enjoy ourselves for the rest of the day, feeling good about what this Knicks team has accomplished, knowing that there's still more to accomplish. Knicks will be 2026 champs is not just a name of somebody in the chat. It's not just a mantra. It's a belief. It's something that's real that I think we all feel like the Knicks can accomplish. At least most of us feel. There's still some haters out there that are like, Knicks are all right. They ain't that good. Let's see when they play somebody. You know how it is. Let's tune all that out. Let's tune out. Let me tell you, there was nothing worse than watching. The only thing that's how cynical I am. After I knew how incredible that game was, I'm like, damn it, tomorrow I'm going to have to watch Stephen A. Smith. And he's going to be with his clown face joking. Oh, I didn't want to see all of that, okay? I can't stand Stephen A. Smith. Just leave him, get him away from me. Terrible. Let me get to everybody and your final words. Just what you're thankful for on Thanksgiving. No, just what you're looking forward to in this next series, no matter who it is. And we'll go from there, man. We'll have time to talk. I'll be back on. I got to figure something out, guys. I might have to switch stuff around and do a Tuesday show instead of a Monday show, because it looks like the next game of this series is going to be on Monday. No matter who they play. So, and I don't want to do a SKF weekly in the playoffs while the Knicks are playing. So I don't know.
No matter who wins tonight, the next game is Monday.
Yeah, the next game is Monday.
I thought it was Tuesday.
Well, at least according to the Knicks website, it says the next game is Monday, and then everything else is TBD. But I don't know if that's right or not. So you guys can check that. Check me if I'm wrong. So D-Rex, your final words, my brother. Anything you're hoping for? Expect to see? Anything you hope to see?
So I would say that through the first 3 games of the series, I didn't think that the Hawks were the better team, but I thought they were the more together team. And I think it really showed in how they played and how, we kind of fell on our face. I would just say that we should continue to be humble and be flexible, because that's what I think this series.
Oh, wait 1 second, D-Rex. Let me say this, because I apologize. I forgot I was thinking this and I didn't say this out loud. I don't want people to start bouncing. I am, even though I'm saying that I want you guys to give your final words, I'm going to, remove the panel, but I'm going to stay for 30 minutes. Okay. And the reason why I'm doing that, guys, is because I'm going to take phone calls for 30 minutes, because I did say I was going to take some phone calls. So I just want y'all, anybody out there who was waiting all this time, I apologize. I'm going to take 30 minutes of phone calls real quick to let y'all know. Okay. Go ahead, D-Rex.
But yeah, I think a lot of Knicks fans came into this Hawks series saying Knicks in 4 and no, don't be spooky in the woods. And I'm like, would you rather be like so obsessively not trying to be spooky in the woods, or would you rather accurately assess the threat that's coming up? Like, are you fighting a rabbit or are you fighting a saber-toothed tiger? You could say Knicks in 4 ahead of every series, but what does it actually do for you in the end? At this point, especially after the Hawks series went to 6 games, and we went down 2-1, and the whole world was exploding when that happened. I think we should just remember that it's a game at a time. Every series is different. Every game is different. Until you go down 3-1 or something, it really isn't even the end of the world. The Pistons might even be about to come back 3-1. So even going down 3-1 might not necessarily be the end of the world. We shouldn't have to do that. But every series is different. Every matchup is different. The Cat, JB, intra-fighting really need to squash that beef, especially going into another 3 series here, people. You really want to be doing the Cat, JB, Cat fight into the final? Like, come on. Can we just stop that right now? So I'm encouraged. I think that we learned the lessons we needed to learn from this, but we shouldn't revert, we shouldn't regress, and we should continue to be together as a team and as a fan base. Like, everybody has their own different principles and beliefs, but you test those against reality, you see what works, you follow the math. And as Tibbs said, the one thing that I always thought was wise that he said is the game tells you what to do. So we went into this series with one plan, didn't work out. We were flexible and willing to experiment and try different things. And things that people said would never happen all season, including me, ended up happening in the playoffs to win us our first round series. That's nice. Still just the first round, but it's a good place we're at. We should all be happy about this.
We'll take it. I like it. All right. Tori, how about you? How you feeling? What's your thoughts?
Like I said at the top of the show, the team that walked on the floor in game 1 is not the team that walked off the floor in game 6.
Mm-hmm.
And that team that walked off the floor in game 6 can beat anybody. So going forward, as long as that's the team I'm not even going to say that. I feel like we turned the corner. So I'm not going to say if that team shows up. When that team shows up, the rest of the league better be ready. So that's how I feel going forward into whatever series we got. Let's go Knicks.
Yeah, I like it. Nice. What you think, Nick Nation? Anything you looking forward to, or anything you're hoping for in this next series, no matter who it is?
Yeah, no matter who it is. Right now, I'm going to live in the moment. I'm happy right now in the moment. We have successfully closed out the first point of the series, and am I correct? Right, we're the only one. I think so far, as far as on in our division point, and as far as the West, that's something different. But
well, yeah, West Minnesota, and
yeah, they have two. Well, two.
OKC, did OKC finish?
OKC, yeah, they swept there. That was like 4 straight or whatever that was.
OKC like doing crochet and
Yeah. They on vacation from vacation. But I'm just happy because just even the diversity of this right now. Sometimes you have to live and feel good in the moment. And as a Knicks fan, I think that we all have to take a breath in a moment, because even on this point of this chat and this series of win, we can't even agree on the point of the win. You know what I mean? We got people who are yakking in the chat about, oh, this, that, this one, bro, da, da, da. And we won the series. So, you know what I mean? For me, that just teaches me that, you know what? Embrace what we've done, embrace how we've got here, be thankful that we still have a team that is in it, in the playoffs. I know ultimately we won the championship, but for certain things is that, you're allowed to be happy and cheer in the point of what we've done already and what we've accomplished. So at that point that's where I'm at, Ron. I'm just happy at that point. I'm happy that I can come on this show and enjoy a series win with fellow Knick fans, and not so much as fellow team, specifically team player fan, because we won as a team. And, I think as, the hint on as far as what Rex said, yes, that has to at some stage let it go. There doesn't always need to be a villain. There doesn't need to be a villain in this story. We won. You know what I mean? And when we go down back and forth, if Brunson takes 100 shots or Cat doesn't take a shot, I hate to say it, we still got to go in and win or lose as a team. And I think I'm happy that we have 10 barrels. You know what I mean? I think that plays a good point in things, because no matter where we seem to go in this division, we got fans. You know what I mean? I could be in Budapest and say, yo, it's Brooklyn in the house, and somebody will stand up. That's what, you know what I mean? And as far, I feel that same way as far as the Knicks. We have 10, 12 barrels out here. Let's keep it going as a Knicks fan base and stop the hate, and let's just love on each other, because, hey, there is a whole nother world out here where things are not going well at all for people. You know what I mean? We are currently, people, you can call it what you want. It's a war, scrimmage, whatever, lives are being lost. And we are still right now here maintaining television, air conditioning, heat, you know what I mean? The finer things of life. Let's appreciate what we have. And as far as we've gotten, and I'm going to get off my soapbox from there on. And I appreciate you having us on. And thank you, what's the name? Everybody out there in the chat. Oh, yeah, and Taco Cowboy, if we win the championship, I think you might be right. We should have a dance off. I think I could take Ron and Dog and even Latoria. I think I could take you too. Hey.
We win the championship. I'm gonna turn my camera on for Craig and definitely join you in that dance battle.
That's what's up.
Your man was pressed. Why her camera never on?
Listen,
I'm at work.
If we win the championship, what I expect from you, Tori B, is to get yourself from uptown down to the financial district, where I will be rocking.
We're gonna be in the Canyon of Heroes, going live together.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Bring you some cigars and a
Yeah,
bottle
work on your
champagne.
dance moves, guys. Work on your parade moves.
Yeah. Let's get up. Listen, I know I'll be talking about it, but I don't really know how to go about doing this. I really do want a content creator float, but I don't know how to go about getting this done. So I don't know how to get in touch with the right person to make it happen. But this is what I want. But it is what it is.
Go to Canarsie, man. They make floats down there, my friend.
Maybe, dare I say it, guys? Am I saying too much? Have I put it? Maybe this is where Still Knicks Fans has to reach out to Knicks Fans TV and see if Knicks Fans TV can cultivate it. But the only reason why I don't want to reach out to anybody is I don't want anybody just taking something and running with it and be like, leave me out. Like, whoa. Hey, now. But I'm not saying that they would do that. I'm just saying, I'm like,
you could do them Chinese New Year's dragons they have, where it's like 10 people in the dragon.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to see just like, and no offense to, I think Knicks Fans TV should be just front and center. I think like Knicks Film School. I think all the, you guys know who the hierarchy is, but I want us to be a part of that too. Still Knicks Fans, nothing but Knicks. I want Knicks real.
Ron is the real grassroots.
Part of it, man.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Anyway, so I just want to say thank you to everybody. Once again for being here. No, thank you for being here and being a part of the show. So like I said, don't go nowhere, everybody. I'm still going to be here rocking for at least 30 minutes if somebody calls in. If they don't call in, then it is what it is. But I just want to open up the phone lines for a little bit. But I
So you're
especially
saying I can't call in. You're saying I can't call in.
if you want to,
You beat me to it. I was gonna tell him I'm gonna call in.
this is Nick Nation Part 2. I'm not him. This is his brother.
I know he sounds like me, but it's not me.
This is his brother, the Met fan, right? Aaron.
Whoa.
Crazy.
Whoa. Calm down. Whoa, break it down. Whoa, break it down.
My calling name is gonna be B Tory, not Tory B.
Who is this? You sound familiar, but you can't be, right? Because you got a different name. Anyway, y'all take care. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all once again for being here and rocking with me. And much love to everybody. Let's keep it going. Let's open up this phone line. Let me do this while everybody's here. Yeah. Y'all know what it is. Listen, anybody out there who wants to call in, at least for a little bit, now's the time. We are, I'm here. So please do. And hold on one second. Yep, the phone line's up and running right now. So you can call in right now. You see the number, 347-305-7280. Now, listen, guys, honestly, I said what I said about y'all. I mean, y'all don't have to leave. If people call in, y'all could still stick around. They might even have a question for you. So you don't have to bounce if you don't want to. Just saying. Throwing that out there. All right. Now let me just switch this up real quick.
Ron, I'm gonna duck out and I listen because I'm gonna go ahead and take my allergy medication. Unfortunately, this North Carolina thing is beating me to death here. So
sorry, brother. It's real, man. It hasn't really in New York. It's kind of been. We've had some weather with the clouds and some rain. It's been kind of keeping it at bay, but it's going to hit in full strength soon.
Yeah, it's brutal here. It's been brutal here for the last 5-6 weeks. So it just gets worse somehow. So yeah, I'm new to the environment, I guess, whatever it is. But I didn't even have in-season allergies. I had end-of-the-season allergies. I now have in-season allergies here.
Oh no, is that what I have to look forward to?
Yes, yes. When you come, it's an adjustment. So get on your game now. Learn about the bees. Taking the bee stuff, the local bee pollen and pollen here, because this is woo-hoo-hoo.
I mean, but she should be good. She's already in the family, Tory B. They should be like, all right, you cool. You with the bees?
Yeah.
Yes, we need her out here pollinating. But thank you guys. What's name here? I'm still gonna listen and what's name here. All right.
Yep. Appreciate
it. Later, Nick Nation.
Take to y'all later. Peace. Love y'all. All right. Peace.
Ooh, got a super chat from APAP. APAP. What's good? Thank you for the generous super chat. And he says, oh, wait, hold on. Got to do it right. He says, and when the Knicks are done and Liberty are coming with the big four, I'm looking forward to that one. Okay, I hear you. I like that. Appreciate you. Sounds good. Geraldine's in NC. The weather is bad. The allergies been going crazy out there, I guess. Oh, and then Randu's dealing with spring allergies too. Chris Gotti says Embiid has no appendix. Yeah, I saw something about that. I don't know what.
Didn't he get an appendectomy? That's why he was out.
Sheesh.
That's why he was out at the end of the season.
Embiid be going through it, man. Embiid is like, by the time Embiid is like 50, he ain't gonna have nothing in his body, yo. He's just gonna be moving around as a market. What's going on with Embiid?
He gonna just be a shell. Oh my god!
Like, damn, man. Embiid.
Listen, I don't care about that. I'm still mad at what he did to Mitch. So whatever he did,
I hear that. I hear you on that. Listen, man. I don't know, man. Phone lines ain't really hitting like that right now. I think maybe the phone line people said, yeah, nah, Ron, he BSing right now. He ain't real. He ain't giving us the phones. They peaced out on me. Like, my bad, y'all. Oh wait, hold on. Let me see. Oh wait. Let me check. Wait, I did. I turned it on. Hold on. I think I did. Let me check. 1 second. Let me see. Your device is running low on storage. Tell me something I don't know. Let me try the number myself. Hold on 1 second. Hold on. Give me a second. Let me do this. So what's the plans for today, Tori? Because you got no Nick basketball. You gonna watch that Boston game?
Oh yeah, I'm tuning in for that. I gotta see who stepped their game up. So I'm definitely tuning in for that. And then I'm going to work, and I'll be at work all night.
Huh. Oh shoot. Uh-oh. You know what? It's not going through for me either, Lord Sign. It did did I pay my bill? Like it's supposed to come out automatically. What's going on? Hey, hold on. Keeping it real. I don't know. It says unable to make. Yeah, I'm having the same issue. I don't know why, because it's not telling me anything. Let me sorry guys, this is live TV. Live, it happens real. Let me just check my account real quick and make sure everything is good. I don't know if there's an issue with my line. Hold on. Yeah. Oh shoot. Okay. Yep, that's what it is. There seems to be an issue here with my account. But they could have emailed me or something. Or maybe they did email me and I didn't see it. Shoot. I don't pay attention to this, y'all, because I mean, outside of me taking these phone calls, I got Zoom calling, and I don't use Zoom for personal business. I use Zoom for work. But yeah, let me see if I can get this fixed real quick. And if I can't, then I'm gonna have to take care of it for Monday's show. But hey, Tori, the other thing I wanted to ask you, are you on the what's that thing? Facebook, like any Knicks groups?
No, I don't. I don't go on Facebook.
Oh, okay. You don't go to any watch parties or anything like that either, do you?
No, I don't go. I don't usually do the watch parties because they either ahead of me or behind me, and I can't be listening to people that's getting information before me when I'm watching a game. Like they're like, "Oh," and I'm like, "What happened?" So I don't bother.
Okay. Now I hear you. That makes sense. Yeah. Unfortunately, I got invited to a couple watch parties, and I forgot, and I couldn't go, and I'm like, damn it, I wish I would have went, but you know, it is what it is. I got to take it easy. Can't be out there in the street sometimes.
Oh, you mean like at an actual like restaurant
Yeah,
or something, a
like
meetup? Oh, I thought you meant like
yeah.
one of the online things. No, I haven't even considered going to any of those things before, but they look like fun. Usually, because Ron, because I'm usually at work, so,
Right.
so I can't even go to that stuff. But they look like fun. I would do that if I could.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would do that.
Jesus Christ, how do I? They make it so I don't even know how to go here. What are we doing, y'all? How can I take care of this? Peak. Okay. I don't know, Lord Scientist. They making me run through hoops here, just trying to figure out how to. What are we doing, yo? Can you just let me figure out how to fix this? Oh my God, bro. This is terrible. I don't know. It's not looking good, Lord Science. I might have to take a little time to actually. And as soon as I get off, right, and close the show, I'll find the spot and it'll take me 2 seconds and I'll be done. I'm like, oh, damn it.
Ron, I'm gonna cut out. I got to get myself ready to get out of here. Time for work. Ron, you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. I got it cut out for a second.
Okay. I'm about to cut out because I gotta get myself ready to get ready for work.
Oh yeah.
Jay wanna hop on. He said, would you mind dropping the line just so he could get in for a few minutes with you?
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Take care, Tori.
All right. Have a good one. Everybody stay blessed.
You too. Where is this? What is going on? Why can't I find this? This is terrible, man. This is the worst thing ever. I mean, I've never had this issue before. Everything just comes out all automatically. I don't got to deal with this. You know what's not good too is the fact that the internet keeps doing its internet thing. So I'm like, I don't know, y'all. This is sorry, Jay. I'm just gonna end the show because it's my internet is going crazy right now, bro. I don't know what to say, man. I'm trying to get this right, and I can't even. I'm trying to clear up the account issue, and I can't even clear up the account. My internet keeps going all over the place. Hold on, let me see. Let me see if I can get you in here real quick. I don't know. What up, Jay?
You hear me, Ron?
Yeah, I hear you. Sorry, bro. My internet it was acting kind of sporadic throughout the show, but now towards the end is going crazy. It's acting all over the place. Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
I cannot hear you.
Oh, that's not good.
Since you can hear me, I've never signed language before. Was that a real thing? I don't know if I did. All right. Anyway, what a win. Let's go, Knicks. Good to see your face. Sorry, I've had the same problem with the Zoom. God bless you. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I think I'll meet you at the parade. I'll be here next week, Save Bet Channel. I hope you get your Zoom call working. I hope I get my ears working. I don't know what's happening. It's all right. It's probably because you're working on that I don't know what's going on. Okay, so for me, to you, to the fans, you don't need a ledge right now. You don't need a ledge. You need a watch party, brother. Figure it out. Ron's watch party. All right. Take him to church, brother. I'll talk to you soon.
Oh, I'm out of here.